Jesse, welcome to the front. How's it going?
What's happening, brother? Doing well. How are you?
Good. Good. Yeah, just hanging in there.
Sweet. Today, so we last spoke a few weeks ago, and you had gone through our listing for the decoration side. So we've got a full scope put together of like all the things that we're going to do to the property. So we're working on executing on that, which we're excited for. And then so today I wanted to talk about kind of two things. I wanted to spend a third of the time getting your opinion on another listing of ours, and then
Cool.
two-thirds of the time talking about pricing. Because I know that was kind of like you said, hey, there's kind of two sides to the coin when we were looking at that property. One is
Mhm,
the
mhm.
appeal and actually selling the property. The other side you wanted to talk about was pricing. And
Sure.
I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of the principles of pricing that we'll talk about will apply across all our properties, unless it's maybe specific to one. But wanted to get your thoughts on that. And those are the two main things I wanted to cover today.
Yeah, so pricing like comes from very like core center, and then there is nuance in the edges. But yeah, for the most part, your go-to strategy is going to be largely the same, and then the decision-making layer we'll get to.
Okay, cool. So maybe
Great.
let's spend like the first 10 minutes talking about this other listing, get your thoughts on that, and then take the back half and talk about pricing if that's all right.
Exactly right. Cool. So hit me with the link for the listing you want me to look at.
Cool. Let me copy it here. All right.
Thank you. Let's give this a bad boy look. One second. Where'd it go? There you are. Okay.
So this one has crushed historically. I think we went live with it in like 2021 or 2022,
Okay.
and it's done really, really well up until recently, and we've changed basically nothing.
Okay, let's see here. You're in Sedona,
Hmm.
and let's take a look at what else is in Sedona, to see if there's been, a change in what Airbnb is loyal to. That's probably a consideration. Okay. Let's go any week and let's look at September, October, so we don't see just last minute availability. This probably give us the best look at what's getting pushed. I do have a lot of students in Sedona, and so I have seen a lot of other listings, so it may affect my um, like my algorithm. But okay,
Hmm.
so what we do see right away, we've got outdoor shot, big windows with outdoor view, outdoor shot. We've got some outdoor, like a lot of outdoor in this thumbnail, this collage. Outdoor wi view to the outside, big windows. See, like it's a lot of outdoor, right?
Hmm.
Your initial thumbnail is outdoor, which is good. So you're in line there. Um, what do we see that's different that might actually, could you actually go into your insights and let me know what your insights say? If you don't know where to find that, go click on the insights box on the top right by hosting, and then go to
Okay.
conversion, and then you're going to get booking conversion. So we want to look at this stuff right here.
And you want me to just check this listing, right?
Yeah, just this listing.
So it's giving me the default date range of June 17 to July 17.
That's fine.
Okay. Overall conversion rate is 0.58.
Okay.
First page search impression is 42.7.
Okay.
Search to listing is 29 or 21.96.
Okay.
And listing to booking conversion is 2.65.
Okay, your last two numbers are workable, 21 and 2.6. They're above our thresholds. So we need to be over 20 and over 2. So you're good there. Your 42% reach is your problem. That number should be over 50. So that's what we're really missing out of you. So now the question is, why does the algorithm not like you? That's the question. Okay. Two bedroom, six guests. Let's take a look at bed counts. Let's see if we can get kind of let's dive in and see if we can get this number under 1,000 for maybe two beds. Okay, so 900. Okay, so two beds. Three beds goes to six or goes to seven. Four beds goes to 4.7, and five goes to 2.7, and six goes to 1.6. So I think there's actually a lot of properties that have decent amount of size. So you might be getting squeezed out as far as the two bedrooms go, right? Because like going from three beds to four beds, or especially from two beds to four beds, you go from 900 listings to 473 with two beds. That's not a very big drop. You still retain over 50% of inventory between having two beds and having four beds. Okay.
Mhm.
You only have two beds um, for this space, like technically, which Airbnb's algorithm has a blend, and one of their blends, what I mean by blend is they've got a blend of things that they care about, and it comes into one final scorecard. And so your reviews is one part of your scorecard. Your reviews are really great, tasty, right? Then you've got price and stuff. That's one factor. But then bed count and quality is another one. It looks like you have one king and one queen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So your bed count and quality is also really low for probably then for your price, right? So becomes an equation, bed count and quality versus price. You've got probably an objectively nice place that people like. And then we're actually in slow season, aren't we?
Yeah. Also, we just had a wildfire, which I think is smoking, short term.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, when views suppress, it's quite possible that you get less first page representation, possibly when views suppress. I'd need to think about how big of a lever that might actually be. But the fact that you have 42% first page view impression means that only 42% of the time that you are seen, you're on the first page, and the rest of the time you're in second, third, or fourth, right?
Hmm.
And so the fact that you're a top 10% is like a trust marker. You've got a really good trust marker. But for the prices that you're advertising, right? For
And,
these
and
prices.
for the record, too, just for your context, like I was charging way more. I mean, I had the average nightly of this set in Price Labs 3 years ago to like 350, and it was booking at that. Now it's like 120 and it like doesn't book.
Yeah, so the thing is if you had more impressions, you probably would get more bookings. That's one thing we want to fix. There are a couple things I think you should fix, like this bed frame. This bed frame is like that's kind of sketchy bed frame stuff that people kind of actually get pushed away from. So
Hmm.
there'd be two things I want to touch. One is the things that knock people out of your funnel, and then two is your bed count and quality. I want to manipulate that.
Okay.
So these shears don't look explicitly blackout curtainish enough, probably because see the light
Hmm.
kind of peels through. So
Hmm.
people might be a little avoidant of your rooms if the blackout curtains don't seem like they're there. So having blackout curtains would really help. I think that could be a non-starter for a lot of people. And these rooms don't look like they hold out the light because of these curtains, right? I think that is a factor for you. Your food arrangements, like this table doesn't really seem like it holds enough people or it doesn't really seem stable enough. And so I probably would increase I would improve your dining to be a little bit more official. Um, your kitchen pots and pans and stuff aren't in here either. So like you're not showing that you've got cooking stuff. So I'd like you to make like a little list. Things that people do not like about my space. And I want you to look at this in as 1 in 100, like your 1 in 100 logic. So what is something in my listing that 1 in 100 people would like dislike enough that they would click away? Do you
Hmm.
think the lack of blackout curtains for every 100 travelers in your listing, would 1 out of 100 people decide not to book because you don't have blackout curtains? Is it possible?
Probably one. Yeah, I think that'd be reasonable. I mean,
Cool.
sure.
Yeah. So let's say you don't have a table that seats 6 people. You advertise 6 guests, but you don't have a dinner table that clearly shows 6 people, and you don't show that you have like pots and pans and cooking stuff. Do you think 1 out of 100 groups may not book you because your kitchen/dining isn't clear enough?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's fair to make that argument for almost anything, right? I mean, one
Okay.
in 100 people.
Well, here's the thing, right? Let's say I've got a studio apartment that's like downtown Dallas, right? That like it's just meant to be on the strip. It's got one bed. It's kind of got like a zesty feel, but it's absolutely a studio. Um, I would argue that I may not even lose 1 in 100 people for cooking related stuff because all my stays are 1 night, 2 night stays, and everybody's going to go to restaurants. So this might actually be a don't worry about it. There are factors. That's why I did. It is still a legitimate question. In your case,
Cooking matter. Yeah, to think a little bit deeper on that, cooking definitely matters. I mean, where the property is, it's not uptown Sedona. It's not really walkable to restaurant. I mean, you
yep,
could technically do it, but you wouldn't.
good,
So
cool.
I think cooking matters.
Good. Thank you for going on this journey with me. You are now in the right mindset, right? This specific listing, what specific amenities must be shown and what can be skipped when we decide if we're going to spend a bunch of money on stuff or improve stuff, what matters. I think everybody should just show kitchen stuff because why not, right? But in this case, I want you to use the same logic even outside of the kitchen, all sorts of stuff. So blackout curtains could be big. You're like showing pots and pans in the kitchen and be much more explicit with more kitchen photos will help you get more click through. The table will help you get more click through. or conversion. So instead of being at 2.6, you might be at like 4.5 or 5%. And so you notice like with my listings on average, all my listings have over 4%, right?
Hmm.
Um, you have to be over two. We like to get closer to five, right? So that's one way to get more bookings. But this 42% is the one I'm really worried about. And so the hack for you, I really think what we can do is if we went to full size rollaway, right? Even if no one ever uses this full size rollaway bed, they make these rollaway beds that are massive, okay? And they sleep two people technically. And because it's a full bed, you mark it as a full bed in your listing, and now your bed count and quality gets manipulated because you have an extra full bed. So you have a king, a queen, and a full, right?
Hmm.
Doing
Hmm.
something like that just to store it in your place will affect your value ranking in the algorithm. That's it. Okay.
So because this was one of the tips that you gave us for the other place, which I loved. I cannot think of a clean place to store that in this property.
Yeah, let me take a look. Let's see here. I don't see a big closet yet,
I
right?
mean, this is a manufactured home, and it's a two bed. It's like 1,100 square feet or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see a big closet, right?
No,
Um,
well, there's one outside. Like if you look on the back deck, there's
mhm.
a portion of the deck is allocated as an outside storage space.
Yeah,
But
so another thing too is like you are lacking some photos that could create a lack of clarity. And the reason why also Airbnb has the photo tour is to make sure all the rooms are the same, right? Because here's one thing too, when you tour a listing on Airbnb like this, let's see if we can go back and look at which one did we use? Is it this one? So when we look on Airbnb and look at other people's listings, and we're trying to determine if we understand a property because you have to understand a property as well as like it. See now all the living room photos are in one spot, so it makes it easier for me to render in my mind's eye what this room looks like, right? Because I
Mhm.
got all the photos together, I can actually three-dimensionally model the room. Same thing with the kitchen. I can like look through the kitchen and all the photos are together. It helps me print in my mind this three-dimensional image. Your problem with your lack of a tour hodgepodges your stuff together and I have to piece it together. So I actually have less trust of the listing because I cannot put the space together in my mind. And that's when people are booking a three-dimensional space through two-dimensional photos, we have to help them like render the room in their mind, right? So I would do the photo tour and I would say you're probably missing enough bedroom photos. I think that's something that you're missing here. That's going to be another thing that helps with the trust. Um, as far as finding a place for that full-size rollaway bed, we Uh, I think I don't know if it was you or another person. We talked about building like a dresser and putting the rollaway bed in the dresser that would go under the TV. So you'd wall mount the TV and you'd have a TV stand that actually would fit the rollaway bed. That's what we did with.
What about doing a conversion sofa? Is that
You could do that. You could do a convertible
would that
sofa.
solve the same equation?
Yeah, that would. Yeah, and there are white sleeper sofas, white queen sleeper sofa, leather. They definitely do make these, right? But sometimes they get more expensive. But yeah, they got some in the $1,000 range, right? So the full size rollaway bed is definitely like a cheaper fix. But yeah,
Mhm.
Bob says one for 8. That's cool. That's good. So yeah, you can get one for about 8, and that would be your solution there. To get an extra sleeping surface, that's important. Because you want the bed count and quality. That's what we're trying to manipulate. So
So just to clarify on that, the bedroom
yeah,
count's going to stay the same. It's still going to say two bedroom, but it's going to say three beds.
exactly. You notice how I clicked the bed count up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beds when I did my search and watched the number of listings drop away? I didn't care
Yep.
about bedrooms. I care about
Hmm.
sleepable surfaces, right? Because here's the myth busting in the space. Bedrooms is how many people get privacy, right? Bed count is how many people get to sleep on a bed. And so let's say you have groups of guys. A group of guys, they're not going to share a queen bed together, typically, right?
Hmm.
So if you have 5 beds, you can have 5 guys, right? That allows you like a more group combinations. So it is in your best interest to have more sleepable surfaces because now you can serve more types of groups. If you do a very feminine space, then you may not need more sleeping surfaces because girls might like sleep in the same queen bed together, not a big deal, right? Guys won't do that as much. So depending on you have to go more like actual sleeping surfaces, right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
is there a difference in consideration? Because I have an air mattress there and it's in the closet and I put it on there that it sleep. The reason I even said it sleeps six is because I have that air mattress there.
Yeah, you get zero algorithm points for an air mattress.
Got it.
So, so
Understood.
yeah, this is about algorithm points because if we can make the algorithm think that your listing is worth more money, then at the same price, you'll get more first page representation at the same price. And
Okay.
because of your click through and your bottom of funnel, you're over 2%. I would prefer to trick the algorithm into giving you more first page because you don't have a bottom of funnel problem. You just have a listing view problem. You're not getting enough impressions. So
Right.
I don't want to lower your price to give you more first page impression. I want to find something else that the algorithm cares about that'll get you more first page. And so getting a rollaway bed and a sleeper sofa, these two things would give you more sleepable surfaces that actually count in the algorithm and thus would give you more rank.
Okay, and then so if you waited, so the main suggestions I have, blackout curtains, really, level up the dining space, get a shot with the kitchen pots and pans, full
Yeah.
size rollaway slash sleeper sofa, and then reorienting the photo tour. If you were to kind of weight those, I mean, my based on what I've just learned from you in the last 15 minutes is like the rollaway slash sleeper sofa is going to be the heaviest weighted, and then
Heaviest.
everything else is going to kind of be a conversion just to optimize conversion a little bit more downstream of that. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. Yeah. So you got the ROI on it, right? So if anybody's local to your listing, you can have somebody just go in and take a ton of photos, tons of photos. And then you can use AI to make those photos look professional. So it'll cost you AI costs to get your photos, to have more photos, and to have better photos very cheap. Okay.
So
You
I was
pro-
that was gonna be my next question is like, maybe this is a great use case for B&B Photo Factory. I've seen you
yeah.
advertising that. Seems like a really good solution because I'll tell you, the guy that took these photos, I thought did a really, really good job. And he has disappeared and he's not in the market anymore. So and I've gone through three other photographers, paying them, $500-700 a shoot, and it's just not that great. I haven't been
Mhm.
super impressed. So that was my next question is like, is this just would you change all of the photos in one swoop using an AI solution like that, or would you just selectively be like, all right, well, this picture's good. We didn't change anything in this frame. Let's leave this one the way it is.
Selective, absolutely selective. If you have photos you like, don't remove what works, right? But you are missing photos. I think you probably would benefit from 8 to 10 additional photos between all the bedrooms and the kitchen. You don't have a close-up of the coffee station. There's like photos that you need to add to this checklist of things that add clarity and trust, right? That's it. And you can just take those on your iPhone and improve those with the Photo Factory, for example. And you can keep the ones that you like. You don't need to scratch them all at all.
So like my partner is going to be there doing a little repair job probably tomorrow after a checkout, and that would be a good time to be like, hey, just like blitz the
Exactly.
photos, just get a
So
bunch of photos and then
immediately on Amazon, buy blackout curtains that you like for the space immediately. So that way, when they do the repair job, they can just hang, they can swap out the curtains for blackout friendly curtains. That's
Mhm.
it. Real,
Okay,
real quick, real quick. And then take those new photos. And then pull the pots and pans out from the cabinets and put them on the stove. Put a cutting board on the next to the stove. Put the knife block next to it. Just line up the oil and the spices and all that stuff, and then do like a decently close-up shot of the stove with the pots and pans on the counter, but on the stove, but you still see the cutting board and the oil. So you want mostly stove range top, and you want a little bit of countertop on the left and the right to show the other things. And that we call that a kitchen medium shot. You can look it up in the Facebook group. You're going to see kitchen medium shots talked about. So you can probably keyword search that and get photos worth copying. And so getting close-ups in the kitchen of the pots and pans and the coffee station, those are going to be added on the to-do list. Hang up the blackout curtains and take more photos. You'll get that done by 4 o'clock tomorrow. Easy, easy street. And then yeah,
cool.
shopping for a sleeper sofa and possibly if you can solve for it, the rollaway bed. Absolutely cool. One of the hacks that one of my friends does too is he'll put like yurts on the outside of the home. So if you've got yard space for a yurt, you can actually put like a yurt or two on a raised platform outside the manufactured home, and you can put a queen bed or two in a massive yurt, and now your property has two more queen beds and a unique sleeping experience that it can increase like the excitement of the space.
That is a sweet idea.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I don't know. Maybe I have a more emotional alignment with that because I just love sleeping outside in like certain weather climates,
Yeah.
and that would hit on that.
Yeah, do not skip anything else that we just talked about. All of it's to do, but then you want to keep pushing. The additional yurt thing I think would be a big one. And next thing you know, you'll have five sleepable surfaces You have a unique outdoor experience that people think would be really cool, and families will love it because even if the family doesn't want to sleep outside, the kids want to, right? So the kids get this experience of sleeping in a yurt outside. It's almost like camping, and now you'll make more money than you used to. You'll
Yeah.
actually your ADR is going to go up with that.
Yeah. Yeah. When I bought this house, I thought about, I'm like, it's got enough space in the back that you could do like an ADU or something like that. But I've never personally enjoyed those staying experiences when it's like there's like a bunch of properties crammed into a small space. Like I wouldn't want that myself. So I never really kind of went for it. But this kind of solves for that without splitting up the party.
Exactly. Two types of properties that I really like, aside from yurts, I like greenhouses. I also really like greenhouses with the sliding French doors, open French
Hmm.
doors. Those can look hyper luxury, especially if you do like a very botanical interior. So you can do this bohemian botanical interior of a greenhouse. They just get they're glass, so you actually need a straight shade structure for outside on top to shade the thing if you want. But you can slide that shade out, and since it's a glass top, you can actually stargaze if you're in a spot that gets good stars. So
Cool.
yurt is the easiest one. Greenhouse requires more intention and more planning, but God, it can be cool. So have some.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be cool too, because it's a dark sky community. They're like real intense about that there. So you actually can see really good stars from the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about pricing. This has been awesome.
Cool. Did I ever log into your price labs?
Nope.
Okay, can you put that into the chat just to hosts and panelists so I can actually see
Yeah,
and
what do you want my like username and password?
yep, exactly right.
Let me get what it is. I haven't actually typed it in 4 years, so give me a sec.
Yeah. So while you're looking that up, I think the reason why this has been such an important session already is there's so much non-price related stuff that cascades into your pricing decisions now, right? Your product is either preferable or it's not preferable. And that's one of the primary filters for your pricing strategy. When your listing is a listing that can win preference, and you know that your go-to-market strategy for price has to do with what can I price to maintain preference and to get good ADR while maintaining preference. If your listing is a dog, right? And I don't think your listing's like it's not that it's a dog, it's not ugly per se, but it's definitely far from the best listing in Sedona now. If your listing has a hard time winning preference, we have to be more proactive on competing on price, right? So for today, we may find that a more proactive price strategy, especially going into slow season, is better for you. But once you do these changes and you can win preference again, you're allowed to be more sticky into slow season. Okay.
As in what we just talked about is interrelated to what we are about to talk about now.
Exactly. Price is the final thing that we touch when we take a sober look at the listing. We take a sober look at this listing and go, okay, so what's the actual quality of this listing? What pricing decisions do I need to make strategically? But that strategic decision has to do with whether or not I think I can win preference in the market. And the big part of this, see these down parts right here where occupancy is in the 30s, like
Hmm.
December, or over here, occupancy is in the 30s in August. These parts of like of occupancy reduction, this is where people have to start to drive their rates down, and we want to be more proactive in these sections. If your listing wins preference easily, you can even be sticky over here, like when the rates over here are like 57% occupancy or like 63, this is more middling. If your listing is attractive, you can be more sticky in the middle occupancy zones, and then you can really price gouge in the high occupancy zones. But when your
Hmm.
listing cannot win preference, as soon as we get out of this upper band and we get into these more middling bands like 68%, 50 something percent, we actually have to proactively drive down even in the middling occupancies because we have a preference problem, which means we start fighting on price sooner. And when I say start fighting on price sooner, we look at occupancy as a scale as a measurement. So occupancy goes from ideal, which is 100%, and it starts to go down towards zero. And so listings that win preference can stay sticky from 100% down farther as it draws down. But ugly listings or non-preferential ones, we start to deviate and fight on price sooner on the way down from 100%, right?
Hmm.
So not sooner as in lead time, but sooner as in a measurement from 100% of occupancy.
Hmm.
So if you find any of your listings are a little bit like of a dog, we actually will be much more firm, like we're much more proactive on this occupancy chart when we decide how to change our pricing strategy. This is one of those things where you're like, do we do everything the same? This is where we actually don't. We start to look at listing quality.
Okay. I.e., if the property is not as nice and people don't like it and the conversion's not as good, we're going to have to be more proactive on reducing prices in slow season further ahead.
Exactly. So when the sellers have control, like over 90% occupancy, everybody raises their price, right? The market's cooperative. But the ugly listings have to become uncooperative sooner than the good listings. So good listings can all maintain this cooperative, like we're all going to keep our prices high. They have to pay our price, right? Good
Yep.
listings can cooperate against the buyer. Ugly listings cannot cooperate against the buyer in anytime that's not ideal for the seller
Mhm.
is the market dynamics part. Which one would you like me to look at first, so I can actually give you?
Did you not want to look at the Javelina Hideaway? I mean, that's the one we were just looking at.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure we're looking at the right one. So, all right. So your last minute occupancy is a little busted, right? You're maintaining a 2 day minimum stay, which I don't think I like,
Okay.
right? I think we want to allow 1 day stays as far out as like 20 days on weekdays. And then even weekends, we can bring down to 1 day if we absolutely had to, right? But I
So you're
think,
saying allow 1 day stays within 20 days?
yeah, for weekdays. So the way we would do this here probably is in the stay restrictions and the customization. We just go to last minute, pop it in. You also want
Okay.
to do for orphan day gaps. You're doing it for gaps, so you already got the gaps covered. Um, Based on like your average length of stay, let's see if I got length of stay data here based on these blue dashes. Um, you get a lot of short stays, right? You had a problem here where you got yeah going into peak season. You got this really long stay that was probably too cheap, so we want to be careful for that. Um, Your your cap on your listing is erroneous. I don't think you need this cap. You got a price max of 495. I don't think you
Yeah.
need that. So what I would do is I'd actually set this because I'm going to give you an example of why you don't need that max.
Okay.
Um, this max you want to rate protect when there's a bunch of like when there's a bunch of demand because you actually want everybody else to get booked in high occupancy. That's what you would love to have. If your
Hmm.
better competitors got booked in high occupancy seasons and you're what's left, people will pay you more money, right? So now this is correct here, because now you actually have like price protection where it matters, and your rates are going to come down over time. But your listing doesn't need to get booked six months in advance. There's no point for your listing to get booked 6 months in advance.
Hmm.
Then far out prices after 60 days. Um, 19% is not enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like after, actually, let's look at your lead time first. Let's look at this. People book 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 months out. See how like this red line starts to come up here in like December? And you
Hmm.
actually still get a lot of there's two main booking windows, it looks like. There's like this damn near a year in advance booking window, but then inside of 4 months, people start to proactively book too. And then there's this like last minute drive up. So you get like three main things, but your main booking window for a two bedroom is about 4 months out. So far out prices, we're going to set at about 110 days. We're going to increase your rates about 70% over 80 days. Because beyond 110 and 80, you don't need to be valuable because people aren't booking your size property anyway. So
So
that's how
you're
we're going to,
saying that beyond 4 months, it's like jacking the prices up big time.
yeah, over the course of 80 days, right? See,
Okay.
so see how this is up in the sky 200 days out now?
Yep.
Right? But now over here, see these numbers are actually more affordable at the 3, 2, 3, 4 months mark. You're right. You're
Right.
actually doing
Okay.
more business right here.
So
So
we don't
that's
want to we don't want to pick up the year and a half out people, the year out people.
exactly right. Unless it's slow season, right?
Hmm.
So we first add this layer of rate protection for our future, and then we determine for slow season what we want our strategy to be for these low times. And we can go in and we can overwrite the rate protection, but that's an anecdotal thing. We want a forever strategy of rate protection, and then on a case by case basis, we go and we overwrite the rate protection for slow season.
Hmm.
That's one thing. Now, what I think, do you get, you're probably a weekend priority and then weekdays are hard to book. Is that common?
Yeah, that's definitely fair to say.
Okay, so for orphan day prices, instead of just the standard orphan day prices, you can use this kind of more modular approach, which is you're going to have 1 day gaps and you're going to drop your weekdays down, probably only about 18% since you're two bedroom. And then for 2 day gaps last minute, which would be inside of like say 28, actually you're sort of inside of 35, you probably do like 14% down on a 2 day gap inside of 35. But beyond 36 days, you might just do like a 9% drop for 2 day gaps on weekdays. And
Hmm.
then you'll have a standard, maybe 5% dip for any weekday gaps ever 3 to 5 day or 3 to 6 even, right? If you have 2 weekends are booked, the weekdays in between go down 5%, just a little bit of something, something. Okay.
Hmm.
For anything shorter than a week. This is a really good setting to have. You then also want to look at zones. We're running out of time on this session, but our next session we can talk about zones. Otherwise, you can actually just watch some of our pricing school self-help videos on zones.
Hmm.
Um, but zones ultimately are how we're going to make like 12 different little date ranges, like 0 to 3 days, 4 to 12 days, 13 to 20 days. We're going to make a bunch of little time windows in the and make zones where we can Pinocchio up and down your prices for different date ranges. And that's how we're going to really carve this to be correct. And that way because I think your base rate needs to go down just a bit, will be the last thing I think you really need to do based on your overall performance metrics. When we look at this, you're at 14 and 20 inside of 30 and 33 inside of 60, right? Your numbers are actually a lot of these places got really, really low numbers, right?
Hmm.
For a two bedroom, we want to see the 30% like 55. And the 7% we want to see at like 85, 90. The 60 day, that 33 could be okay, right? But we want to see 55 and 85. So we want for
Hmm.
people. So so there's a couple ways to do that. I think you should lower your base rate, but what you can do right now until we do zones, if we want to do zones next session, this 38% over 16 days isn't nearly aggressive enough. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to make you a different last minute drop that is going to take 40% over 50 days. Okay. And this is going to drive you down more proactively. We're going to shut this off when we make you zones. Okay.
Okay.
Zones are more elegant and highly customizable. And you see how you get down into the 110s really fast? You know, if we could get you booked at the correct lead time, you wouldn't be down at 110. Right now, the problem is that you've missed every zone into 3 weeks from now. This looks really ugly and really concerning. But if you were more correct out here, you would never get down to the 110. You're the fact like you failed out here, and then you failed here, and then you failed here, and then you failed here, and now you're here, right?
Hmm.
Everything cascades towards today. So when we fix your price, like 60 days out, 45 days out, you're going to stop seeing this. My change that I just made, this looks really concerning, right? But when you fix your lead time strategy for zones, when you learn zones, you're going to stop seeing this happen.
Okay. So what do I need to do from everything that you just implemented? I think the only thing that you talked about that we didn't just change the settings on was the 1 day within the 20 days.
Yeah, I'll just do that for you right now just to get it out of the way.
Okay.
So we can do 1, 2 inside of like say 24 days, and then 1, 1 inside of like 8 if you wanted to let weekends be 1 day stays at all. Do you have party problems?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool. Then we'll do that. That'll be the one other change. So we need to talk about zones next. And when we do zones, we'll stop using the last minute discount feature. I hate using the last minute discount feature for anything but price discovery. It allows us to create a grind, and then we populate your listing with a bunch of bookings, and we look at lead time and ADR, and so the drive down from the last minute allows us to get a good gradient to start populating prices. But
Okay,
aside from
so
that, I
we'll
really don't like the setting.
so next session we'll talk about the zones, and then I'm like vaguely familiar with them, but I'll tighten up on that, and then we could be a little more efficient on our next session.
Yeah.
So just to put a pin on all the action items that I have between now and then, on the pricing side is nothing. It's really just learn about zones, and then we'll roll through on the implementation, and then all the actual property modifications that we talked about. Is there anything I'm
Yeah.
missing?
We will also talk about your slow season strategy after we get zones. So just remind me to talk about slow season deviations.
Slow season deviations. All right, I'm good to go. Appreciate it, brother.
Rock on. Good session, man. Thanks for hanging in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So I did say Marjorie's next. I think I remember. Marjorie should be the next one up. So let me find her, hunt her down. Um, there you are. Welcome to the front, Marjorie. How's it going?
Hey Sean, how are you?
Good. Good. How are
Good.
things?
Well, I have some news. I decided to turn my flip into an Airbnb. So,
Good. 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 Cool.
yeah. So I like to understand more the strategy based on how much income would I generate annually on that new property that is 5 minutes away from my from my current Airbnb. Could you help me to understand how much would it be the gross income? So I did the research. I think it's gonna be annually 84,000, but I'm not pretty sure.
I'd like to encourage you to not think like this. I like to
Uh-huh.
change your mind, okay? When we decide to pick up a property, that's a great question to ask. When we don't have possession yet, okay?
Sorry, what do you think?
When we don't have a property, like when we don't have possession and we're trying to decide if to Airbnb, we want to look at the annual projections, okay? The fact that you already own the home, right?
Yeah.
The questions you ask now is, how do I make the most money?
Hmm.
That's it. Not what should that money look like. You're going to Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
And you want to do more than 5,000 a month.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So now the question is, what can we do with the listing to get the best result? Instead of wringing our hands over an analysis over what it should be at the end of the year, we now solely focus on planning the best performance for the property. Instead of trying to measure what it might be, we're going to plan for it. We did do research to know that 5,000 a month seems pretty safe, right? And we do know that your other listing does as much as it does with the quality that it is. So we know that you're going to land somewhere between safe numbers and good numbers, right? So you have that loose range, right? That
Hmm.
loose range is enough for you to know, okay, I am not going to spend $50,000 making this property an Airbnb, right? So you know that you have limitations based on what your other property does and kind of what the market's going to pay for regular, right? So your property as a regular Airbnb should do about 5,000, 5,500 a month, I think is what we saw, right?
Correct. And that's my next question. I mean, I know I say I have limitations because, of course, I don't have the liquidity that I had before for my first Airbnb,
Very
but
good.
I do have 180,000 in business credit card with 0% interest for 12 months. That I've
Mhm.
never used it before, but I think that could be a good option to do that right now.
Yeah, so you could spend some money to try to get some good results out of this, right? That is what you talked about potentially doing an arcade just because it was different, right? Um, yeah, to bring all of our topics together, I think you want to do a different thing with this property just so you can test like what people actually will book and what they would like. You don't have a hot tub in your piano property in the Releve, right? You don't
No.
have you don't have outdoor amenities in your Releve. And so if you really wanted to focus on different, you can either do an arcade or focus on outdoor amenities, right? That would be your shift.
Yeah.
Um, and so now the question is, how much money are you willing to invest to maybe potentially make 1,500 a month more than what you would normally make with a regular Airbnb? And so let's say your 5,200-ish is per month is what if you just put good beds, good design, blackout curtains, the basics, right? If you did a good job on the basics, let's say the expectation was 5,200 a month for this property. The goal is to get closer to 7,000 and how long you're going to hold on to this property for, how much money are you willing to put into the extras to make that money. 1,500 a month times 24 or 20 even is like 30 grand, right? In less than 2 years, you can make $30,000 extra if you do some extra stuff. So I would just try to keep my additional investment in value adds less than 30K. I'd like to try to keep it under 20. But also remember, if you do some value adds, the property value might go up too. So you can always plan that in there also, you know? So do you think you'd be interested in doing outdoor amenities and try to test outdoor? Or would you prefer to do the arcade path or
So
something indoor?
So there are two things there. The outdoor is very small. I mean, I
Okay.
don't have a lot of space for this specific property that I have with the first Airbnb. That's one. So I don't think it's gonna be very very good because I don't have enough space
By
on the.
small, do you mean you have like less than 20 feet wide of a space? Or is your yard more than 20 feet wide?
I would say my yard is, I mean, yeah, it's like for 4 chairs and a little fire pit. And I have a deck, but it's kind of small, but for another 3 chairs more.
Yeah, like if you had an outdoor space that is like 40 or 50 feet wide and like 25 feet deep, and that's it, 40 by 25, right?
Mhm.
You can create a very beautiful, immersive, small backyard with
Okay.
40 by 25, something small like that. Okay. And here's what's great about that. It's easier to get a great final product with a smaller yard because you have less square footage to try to fill. Your other property, the yard is so big that if you did really cool stuff with it, you'd still only do really cool stuff with a chunk of the yard. You still have all this extra yard left, right? It can be tough. So sometimes a smaller yard is a blessing. So don't tune that out. I would do some measurements and make a decision. Because if you make it, because you make a good private immersive yard, that's what people are looking for. You know, you're not going to sleep 15 people and do a backyard barbecue where they bring 45 people into the backyard, hopefully, right? That's probably
Hmm.
what we're trying to avoid. So a good small curated backyard experience could still be fine, depending on your size. So,
Okay, so I have to bring the measurements of the backyard.
yeah, bring the measurements and then let's find out what we think we like. Because
Okay.
a smaller yard, you can really do a good job with 20K. A massive yard is really hard. You can spend like 60. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The
So,
measurements about the yard, the grass, and also the deck.
yeah, yeah. You might do some modifications to the deck. One of my buddies built a pool that looks like an in-ground pool by extending the deck and then having an above-ground pool that was like half above ground, and he but it did a deck so it still looks like an in-ground because of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
He did a real
Yeah,
good job. That was a really good move.
that's a good idea.
So,
Like we don't
um,
invest mm, a lot in the indoors or in the inside of the house, and we invest more on the outdoors, right?
yeah, so this is a we're running a theory, right? We're running a test based on a theory,
Mhm.
right? The Releve, beautiful indoor property, banquet room, family, elegance, right?
Mhm.
This new property could be focused on outdoor features, more of that kind of world, like more adventurous. You're going to have good bed economics, like you're going to have a good amount of sleeping surfaces. You're still going to do the good basics on the inside, but your offering is going to be materially different from the Releve, so they'll be completely non-competitive. They won't compete with each other for bookings, which is nice,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I don't want to compete with myself, definitely.
Exactly. And that's why the arcade is a good third idea because the arcade is very fun, right? Very like electric. And the releve is very well stated, right? Very postured. Arcades are
Mhm.
less postured. So this is how we go and we do different things and see what works, and then we scale what works, right? So I really do like the idea if you extend the deck and then build like you build like a shade structure. Like you extend the deck, build a bigger shade structure, have like a half in-ground pool that is in ground because of the deck, because the deck raises that outer thing. You could do something cool with that. You could have some fun. Just food for thought on that. But that's probably the direction I would go in. If I was thinking between the two, I think I want to focus on outdoor amenities. Because of the trends that I'm seeing in bigger cities. A lot of bigger cities the work you do in the yard really defines your top end, right? You'll have a property that can do like 14,000 a month. The same interior design for the 14,000 a month, if you do your yard the right way, they do 22,000. It's that extra front that's that extra frontier of investment that people in Dallas are doing, especially in Texas, a lot of cities in Texas, like pimping out your yard is a big factor out here in Texas.
Yeah, that could work. Okay. And also, so do have three bedrooms in the on the second floor,
Mhm.
and I have one big room that was the garage converted that we were thinking to do an arcade there, but if we are gonna do an outdoor more outdoor fixtures, do you think we should convert that in another extra room, or should we just leave it as is with three bedrooms upstairs?
I think because if you do the outdoor and more adventurous stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
could do stuff like you can make some stuff that maybe I don't know if I want to do rugged, right? I might not go so far as say rugged, so never mind.
What is
But
right?
rugged would be like woodsy, lumberjack, masculine, right?
Oh, not doing
I don't think I'm leaning in that direction. I almost said it.
no.
But the garage, people like to do man caves, right? Stuff. So the garage could be more of a masculine room, which could have some masculine features and then have a bunk bed, right? You could do a bunk bed in there. You could do a movie theater in there, like a man style movie theater, so it's not a full on family theater, but it's got like more of the man cave sports theater with the bunk bed still. You can find a way to do a half theme room, half sleeping spaces with the bunk bed. That is also an option. If you want to load more amenities but still have sleeping spaces, that is an option. Um, but yeah, otherwise, the straightforward path is bed max. If you've got good outdoor amenities and bed max, that's a really safe way to go and might be the most cost effective. But if you're still looking to try to entice people and you really are looking for that, like those elements that other people don't touch, since it's early on and you do have the business credit, doing like this man cave sports theater crossover with the bunk bed is probably a better decision, also including your brand. if you're trying to expand into co-hosting and you want to be impressive. I think
Mhm.
doing impressive things is still good for your brand in your this because there's more implications than just the profit of the property, but what are you capable of is still something you're proving.
That's exactly where I was going, because of my brand, right? I think that's what I would like to invest even more to do better things because I already done one great thing with the Releve and I don't want to fall short on the second property because of my brand. I think it's going to bring me more investors, it's going to give me more exposition, and I think it's going to be better for my brand if I invest more money in the second Airbnb, as long as it's giving me money at least 5,000, right?
Yeah, I think you're gonna be fine there. That should be easy based on a previous research. So I do think we're gonna test a deviation with like the outdoor amenities is a great idea. And then we still want to build for that so it's on your business card. So I do think I think we've got a solid initial direction. Once we have the measurements of your backyard, we can plan what that backyard could look like. Um, and measurements of the garage too. But you're good at this part. This is all you all day. So
Yeah, but yeah, of course, I don't have a garage. I have a small the converted garage, so that part is kind of big, but it's in you have to pass through that new room to go outside.
sure,
That's the big
sure.
um the big glass window, no, the big glass door. So I
Mhm.
don't, yeah, I guess for next time, should I bring the measurements for the garage? Probably I should
Yep.
post it in the Facebook group, right? Because I don't want to just wait 1 week to
Yeah,
start
absolutely. Yeah,
taking pictures.
we can talk tomorrow and the next day on the measurements. Absolutely. Or even
Yeah.
tonight. We can talk tonight on it.
Okay, yeah, I need to find somebody. I'm in Miami right now, but I can find somebody
Okay.
to do the measurements.
Did you actually have an old Zillow that might actually show the outside measurements of the home and you can just use the measurements of the home to get a ballpark for the outside?
Yeah, that could be as well.
You might be able to just get a loose idea. We can get specific later. We're looking for ballparks right now. We're not looking for down to the inch.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's true. Okay, and okay, I will look that. And something else like what else should I take care? Should I think about that interior design? Which type of design do you think? I talked to Carrie last week,
Mhm.
so she told me that if I'm not gonna put a lot of money in the interior, that I think is wise because if we are gonna put the money in the outdoors, I should just keep on budget on the interiors. Of course, good beds as always, good pillows. I
Yep.
think that's a must.
Yep. Yep, it is.
But I don't think I'm gonna do so many accents. Or she was telling me to paint, to use more paint
Yeah.
and do more colors.
Yeah, colors are one. What I think is going to be next is once you decide really what you're doing with the outside and maybe what you want to do with the garage conversion, that could inform the direction of the design, right? You may decide upon a design theme because it matches the outside a certain way. But yeah, her general idea is correct. And now the question is, will we do a modern thing? Will we do transitional? Will we do something more rustic? Um, will we do something wabi-sabi? That will be informed by other decisions that you haven't made yet. So I think don't get too ahead of yourself on trying to pick your design style yet. Let's work on these, what we would call these. You remember the concept of anchoring that I talked about a couple months ago? Like
Mhm.
we want to get those pieces nailed down, the things that really will drive the consumer psychology, and then we're going to support those couple things. And I think this outdoor amenities area could be one of these anchor points for the listing. And if you're
Yeah,
like, okay, this is going to be where we stand our ground to claim value, let's develop this idea, and then just the rest of the house has to support that idea.
yeah, got it. Understood. Okay, outdoor theme and garage converted decision. What we're gonna do with that one?
Exactly.
Okay. Do you think I should do something else? I don't.
No, so sometimes things are more simple. Sometimes things are simple enough, right? So now the question is, where do you use your mental energy? Like right now, I think you have an immediate track on what to start looking at, which is to create the idea for the yard and the conversion. And then other decisions are going to rest upon that. So like there may not be a lot of deliberation until we get further down the project, right? So now you got a little flex time. What else would you like to work on? Have you considered making a site for your co-hosting business as like as a flip to B&B consultant? Have you considered about working on an actual brand for that? Getting a web presence up? Because you're doing your content, which I think is great, but have you rounded out the rest of your brand strategy? Do you have a website where people can get consults with you, where you can post some of your other projects? Like, have you really widened your net yet? Because that would be the next thing I think you should work on.
Yeah, my brand side, that consultation, right? Yes,
Yeah,
people reach out to me and I'm giving free consultation, but at least I'm recording our conversation.
that's
Of course,
good.
I'm asking permission. So I say, hey, yeah, no worries, I can help you have 30 minutes, but if you allow me to record this video, that would be amazing. They
Yeah, that's
say,
good because then you can you're going to learn while you teach, by the way. This is my
yeah.
favorite thing. You learn the most when you teach. You can maybe use that stuff for content, but you can also use that to make educational materials. You can also use that stuff to study customers and find out what they care about and what their common questions are. And understanding your customer is a big part of marketing in the future. So all these conversations, you throw them in the cloud later, say, I've done 30 consultations, here's the transcripts. What can we learn about customers that can help me with my marketing campaign? And Claude can use those recordings. There's a ton of ways to use that stuff. So great work getting those recordings.
Okay. Okay. And now, yeah, I don't think I have big ego, and I'm gonna tell you that yeah, I switched my language to Spanish. However, I think that was a huge mistake because
Okay.
most of the people that stop me, even at airports, are from America. So it's
Okay.
crazy. I've been coming to Miami today. I'm at the gym. I was in Panama. I was in Raleigh. So they say, "Hey, are you Marvin Nito?" And I'm like, "Hey, yes. Oh, are you doing real estate, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm doing real estate." And then we start talking about it. So
Love that. Love that.
yeah, it's crazy. I guess you have millions of people talking to you that way because I only have 2,000 followers. Like I don't know how people can talk to me in airports or
It's cool. Good
coffee
job.
stations.
You can crush with 2,000 followers. That's totally fine. It's the quality of the individual video. Yeah, I'm in the peptide space right now, and I've got videos with 400 views because TikTok keeps like throttling my content. But the amount of DMs I get from a video that has 400 views because there's so much interest, it can be a ton. So right
Mhm.
now, if you're speaking to an audience that is interested per video, you're kicking ass. I think you should lean into that. So yeah, if you've noticed that the Spanish angle isn't working, it's totally fine to pivot, right? So that's one thing about being a business owner and a visionary is we have to one, know when to be stubborn and know when the world is wrong, right?
Yeah,
So you deciding to Airbnb your property. One of my favorite like ways to tell your story is a normal fix and flip person who would probably told you not to Airbnb, right? Like,
yeah,
stick with what you know. What's the numbers in? What's the numbers out? More properties. Do it faster. Just keep flipping properties. That's how you make all your money. Somebody who's a flip person would have said that, right? Um,
100%.
and Henry Ford, he had a quote that said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse, right? But he invented the car, right? He was stubborn to
Mhm.
build a machine instead of riding horses, right? This is where we have to be stubborn, but also we have to listen to the market and we have to understand people. And when the people tell us something that gives us a clue that we're on the wrong path, we do need to be able to throw an idea away and pick up the new idea. And so with content, if your Spanish stuff isn't hitting, cool, do English. Go for it. And
Yeah,
if you still want to test the Spanish side, do it on TikTok and do it on Instagram trial reels and see with trials and with TikTok if you can get reach with those. And if they work somewhere else, then cool. But otherwise, yeah, lean into what's working for growth. I would not abandon the Spanish thing yet. I think you still might have a potential, but it just may not be in your Instagram. It might have to be, like I said, the TikTok, where TikTok goes, okay, cool, we're gonna like do Spanish stuff.
whatever, whatever. Yeah.
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 But yeah,
So
let's expand the brand.
I do have content for Spanish already scheduled until September, end of September. So, and also I think I can just add some English content, right?
Yeah, I think so, right? We had a theory, right? When I said let's try Spanish, the thesis was like my ex-girlfriend is like one of the most famous Czech influencers in the world. And because
Mhm.
she speaks in Czech, she gets a ton of reach with Czech people because there's less influencers that speak Czech. So her content has an easier time to adopt natively but where the English market is extremely difficult and like so much English content, right? So you have to fight through that, right? So
Mhm.
language can sometimes be its own little barrier to entry, which makes it harder to get quality content in that native language. And that's why I thought Spanish could be a good angle for you. But if it's not panning out and you want to compete in the English space, maybe the fact that you have an accent and you're speaking English with an accent, people might find that a little enticing. So now we can try to lean into that and ask, will this work? Everything that we do when we're new, we want to say, this is a test. Here's why I think it will work. And if it works, maybe I'm correct. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't work, let's come up with a new test. As long as you say, here's my theory, here's why I'm testing it, and here are the results. As long as your process is always that, you can try doing all of your videos upside down, you know, or wearing a beanie, or wearing a top hat, or
Mhm.
waving a stick at people as you talk. Like, and you can test everything, right?
Yeah, Machu
Um,
Picchu behind.
yeah.
Yeah. And all the high income earners that speak Spanish, they speak English. I mean,
That's
all my
true.
friends, all my ex-bosses from Caterpillar, everybody speaks English. So they are telling me, "Oh, what you switched your language?" And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
well, yeah, that's true. See, 'cause I was thinking if you wanted authentic audience with like the little people trying to start a business, I thought that would be really cool with Spanish.
I don't think
But
I
yeah, you got a
resonate
point.
with those people.
Yeah, and but then yeah, if you speak to the affluent, they speak English, and you can always kind of like as a thing, you could always like if you want to make an aside in a video, like say just between me and you kind of want to have that intimate between me and you energy. You could just say something quickly like in softly in Spanish, kind of like as an aside, like it's a secret, and then keep moving on to the English. So people who are bilingual will feel more connected to you because you give them like little nuggets on the side in Spanish.
Mhm.
That could be the way that you blend the two, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's a great idea.
Have you come up with a brand like name mantra for this flip to B&B thing?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and it's like VRBO method, something
Okay.
like, yeah, because it's normally it's bird like rental, but it could be
Yeah.
like Airbnb or STR, bird STR method. Yeah, I, I know
Mm.
there is a good niche. Yeah, all my flipper friends that they are huge flipper, 50 houses per year. I mean, 100 houses per year. They have one Airbnb and they hate it so much.
Yeah, some people aren't built for it, right?
No.
Yeah, I want you to come up with as many names as you can, and don't stick just to like B&B or Burr. Think for other like metaphors that might work too. Because like a lot of people come up with names for stuff that like don't even use Burr or B&B or flipping or buy and hold. They don't use the phrases in their name. Right? Like Pace Morby has something he calls the Gator method, and Gator method's like a lending thing, but he still named it Gator for some reason.
Mm.
So I'll always be willing to maybe name something kind of a cool, unique name. But yeah, try to write down a bunch. See if something sounds good because you're going to use it in your content. And we kind of want it to be informative but effortless. We want it to maybe like catch. And Airbnb doesn't really catch as much as I would like it to. So I think we probably want to find a different like mnemonic.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are having reaching out because they were doing long-term rentals and now they want to do short-term. And I talked to this person that I was talking about last week, and we are just waiting for the HOA for some approval for the short-term rental. And yeah,
Mhm.
so she would like to have my advice. I told her 4,000 for design and furnishing the house. She's gonna pay the contractors through me because they are my people that I'm
Yeah.
working with them. And yeah, so we're I think we're pretty good with her. So she's pretty happy.
That's great. Congrats on your consult. Love that. Making money multiple ways now already. It's good. Love that.
I think it's good for my brand. I know, for example, Alex Hormozzi says stick to one thing, and I'm just a little bit afraid to just don't
Mm.
like I don't want to go with many things, but I know this is also my now Airbnb is I really like it, right? And it's
Yeah.
big for me, so
I think people misunderstand Alex Hormozzi's statement with that. You know, Dave Ramsey also says don't take debt, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say that you were a fighter, like a UFC fighter, right? So Alex Hormozzi says stick to UFC fighting, right? Don't become a chef, right? What you just said is like, okay, if you're a UFC fighter, just throw leg kicks. Only do leg kicks when you fight. Don't throw any other kicks or punches, right? Stick to one thing. How specific is that advice? What I believe in is concentric circles of overlap, right? We de-risk by doing something that's very similar. You just
Mm-hmm.
did a Burr to Airbnb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're going to do it again, but you're going to do it through a client. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, isn't it?
The same.
It's the same thing, right? It's the
Yeah.
difference between a head kick and a front kick, right? You're still
Yeah.
throwing a kick, okay?
In
So
my
when
same
we look
city.
at doing one thing, it doesn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
perfectly the same thing because you can't buy the same address, right? The Releve, you can't buy the same exact property and do it again. The address is already taken. So it's actually impossible to do
Mm-hmm.
one thing,
That's
right?
right. And even Alex is not doing one thing because he's doing content creation, he's doing short-term videos, long videos, he's doing acquisition.com, he's doing books, he's doing consultations, he's doing VIP 101. So
And
yeah,
that they're actually remarkably similar, right? They're so similar.
so
And so
similar.
that's the thing. When you understand something enough to see how it's similar to something else, then the risk goes away. See,
Mm.
he writes a book, which is a type of content, and that book feeds into his consultations, right? Or into his ecosphere. He does long form content, which is a type of content that feeds into his consultations. His long form content actually can get transcribed and start to generate book chapters. A lot of his books are likely from past consultations and past things that he's done. He's repurposing content and cross-pollinating it, but also transforming it, right?
Yeah.
Acquisition.com, everything that he did to build Gym Launch and to do these other things, he's taking everything that he's learned and then one business at a time, he's tested what he's learned against other businesses and he's validated whether his advice is good or not behind the scenes. You probably haven't seen the hundreds of companies that he's worked with, but what he's done is he's taken his unique worldview on business and he's tested it against other industries. And through that trial and error, he's able to get a bunch of data. But every single time he's worked with another business, he's always tried to maintain home field advantage with his knowledge and tested it in slightly unique spaces. So that circle then becomes two slightly overlapped circles. And now he's got a ton of overlapped circles that all touch each other still. But he didn't go from, like Gym Launch to Salt Bay, right? He didn't become a restaurant owner. He didn't try
Mm.
to buy the Jets like Gary Vee wants to, right? He's not doing completely unrelated things. He's
Yeah.
always made a strategic play into something slightly unique. And that's what I do with all my businesses too, right? Like the B&B Photo Factory and Revande are
Mm.
services in the Airbnb space. My Airbnb coaching is an extrapolation of my Airbnb experience. My book, the Revenue Manager's Handbook, is a book on my Airbnb experience. They're all overlapped. Now that I'm in the peptide space, I've been a business coach for a long time, content creator for a long time. I've been a sales guy for decades. I've been a business owner for a while. And even in the peptide e-commerce space, I'm using the things that overlap to de-risk the venture. And that way, all the little extra things that I'm learning, I only have to learn slightly new things where I can lean on most of my experience still, even in e-commerce. And so whenever you go into a new thing, you really want to start with what's similar so that way you know what's the risk. The new stuff is the risk. The similar stuff is how you de-risk. So yeah, you consulting for flip to hold, right? Instead, like buy Burr and hold for Airbnb. Like it's all so very similar. The thing that might be slightly different is when you do a multifamily, right? You do a Burr with a multifamily the same way.
Or in another city, right? At least right now at this point to do it like in Dominican Republic that she was looking for a consultation as well. I think that was too
Yeah.
far. Another it's not US, it's so far away. I think that's very different. Even that is in the Airbnb space, right?
Yeah, so here's what you do with that though, with the Dominican. You're not going to co-host it because that could be such a distraction from your end goal, right?
Mm.
Because it's too far away. But you could consult for a fee. And if you want to do it to learn, you can stand by some sort of refund policy that if they don't feel like you did a good job, you can give them a refund for your expertise because it wasn't so expert, right?
Mm. Mm.
I cannot tell you how many free consults I've done in my life. Tons of free, right?
Yeah.
And
Did
in
you
the
record
free, yeah, I did. Right? And we have all this private stuff locked away. And the free consults allow me to understand a person's unique situation and then try to figure it out. Like if somebody sends me a DM and go, "Bro, I need your advice. My situation's crazy." I'll go, "Let's get on a phone call." I won't try to charge them if the person's situation is so unique. I'm like, "I want to see if I can solve this," right? I care more about getting on the phone call to see if I can solve that problem, to see if I actually know what I know, Because if I can solve one person's wild, crazy situation, I then can say with confidence that I can solve somebody else's, and then I can sell that, I can coach that, right? But a lot of
Mm,
times when somebody gives me a really weird situation, I will work for free to learn the thing that I can then leverage. So with the Dominican, you can consult for them and you can just guarantee your work. And if you don't do a good job, you just don't charge them. And you still got the practice to consult in a really unique space. And that allows you to expand your expertise. And 2 years from now, next thing you know, you're doing consults in like a dozen countries because you started doing the weird stuff for free.
that's so true.
It's
Yeah.
worth your time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Okay. So true. Thank you so much, Sean. I know you have a long time here. I
All
appreciate
good.
all your help, and definitely, yeah, I'm gonna work on my brand way more, and I'm gonna let you know how everything is going. And of course, once I have the measurements, I'm gonna post in on the Facebook group so we can start picking some ideas.
That works. I'm so proud to see you growing up so fast in this industry. It's really cool to see. Great work.
Thank you. No, yeah, imagine, remember, remember 3 months ago when I was it was a little bit difficult, but now I really like Airbnb now.
You hit the red line for a second, but you made it. So good job.
I know, but the thing was when this businesswoman that has like 20 Airbnbs and she owns the houses and she wanted to buy the Releve, I am like, wait a minute, if she wants to buy, this is gonna work.
Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah.
Actually, because she reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I would love to have a coffee with you." And that was in my lowest point when I was very sad that my parents told me, "Hey, you should just keep flipping. You shouldn't be doing
Mhm.
this in Airbnb. You don't have your family in the United States and it's so hard for you. So just sell it." And I'm like, I'm gonna break even, and I don't like to breaking even. And my parents told me, yeah, just sell it, honey, it's no problem, whatever. And then I had that meeting with this woman, and she's like, I wanna buy your property. And I'm like, no, because if you wanna buy my property, means there is money there. You wouldn't buy my property if it's not money.
Exactly right. I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't sell. Thank God, right?
Thank,
Um, and
thank
those
God
low
that's
po-
done.
those low points make you so much stronger, right?
Yeah.
So it sucks that you have to go through them, but man, it's so good when you get past them.
Yes. Now sometimes I forget that I have an Airbnb when I'm talking with new people and I'm talking about flipping and they say, "Hey, you should get one Airbnb." I'm like, "Oh, I actually have one. Look." And they're like, "Oh my God, this is huge. I can't
That's so
believe you've
great.
done this."
That's so great. Like, so yeah, no big deal. I just forget that I have it, right? And then it's like one of the most impressive Airbnbs in the area, and people are like, "Holy shit, why did you not say this sooner?" That's so good.
Yeah. Now I
Great
learned
marketing.
now I learned that I have to show it because people think it's just a bunch of beds and some kind of normal stuff and they are like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you have this Airbnb."
Yeah, you blow their mind. That's really good.
That's so
Love it.
good.
Well,
Yeah,
congrats.
Sean. Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you so much, Sean. Well, happy Saturday and yeah, happy weekend.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Right. Jerry, you're next up. We got time for like 22-ish more minutes, I think. And then of course we need to give you more time. It's totally fine. So, um, what's up, Mr. Jerry? Senior. Senior Jerry, Montana's finest Airbnb hosts. Where you at? If Jerry doesn't pick, we actually don't have any hands raised, my friends, at the moment. So here, let me do this real quick. Let me hit pause. Okay. Um, 1 second. All right, Brandy, welcome to the front.
Hi, Sean. I wasn't completely prepared to speak today, but
All good.
so
We're
let me
just
just
flowing.
yeah, just fly off. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was cleaning one of the houses.
Love that. Love
And
that. Very
listening.
good.
So, um, I guess long story short, we have a 7 bedroom house. Um, and we've had some problems with the lender and the mortgage. So we're having to um get rid of that property. It's not going to be an
Okay.
Airbnb anymore. We have a couple
Okay.
of weeks left. I threw the furniture. I just haven't known what to do, my husband and I. So we threw the furniture online and in our local Facebook group and said, we're just going to sell the furniture and end it. But we have so much nice stuff. It's just killing me. Like I handpicked all this stuff. I'm gonna have to sell it for cheap. Um, but we're successful owners. We have two other properties. They're successful. This house was successful. It's just a terrible mortgage situation. So I was just kind of occurred to me today, like hearing you talk about arbitrage, that's not something we've ever done. We are owners. We've owned 5 at one point. Now we're going to be down to 2 after this one is
Mhm.
done. So I thought, well, maybe I should try to arbitrage something. Maybe there's something I can do. I mean, I have thousands of dollars worth of high quality furniture, arcade games, a ping pong table. I'm a
Absolutely.
successful, um, owner and manager. Um,
Yeah.
so creative
Where's your market
ideas.
again?
What
What's your
Greenville,
market?
South Carolina.
Cool. Okay. I actually like the Carolinas. So I think what you can absolutely do is you could take advantage of the fact that people are having a hard time selling. You're about to probably have a
Yeah.
situation, right?
That's why we're having a hard time selling it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that we're in that boat as well.
Yeah, so you can anything that sucks for the market, one person in the market, it sucks for the whole market, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so in the arbitrage space, you can contact sellers that have their homes listed for sale that have not sold in 70 plus days, 80 plus days, whatever you think your minimum number is, and say, hey, so you're having a hard time selling your property. Well, I do short-term rentals. I'd actually like to put your home up as a, transient accommodations. I'd like to rent from you. This will cover your holding costs, pay your mortgage, and maybe also you can sell this as a tenant occupied to somebody who's just looking for an income property. This will give you a second shot, right? And that pitch to other owners, because you're an owner and you can really speak to that. You probably should have an easier time having that conversation with people who are having a hard time selling. So that's one specific timely opportunity to get into arbitrage.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, inside of this program, my whole arbitrage system sales pitch, it's all in there. But it is hours of content, so I'm not going to info dump you that because you can watch that. Um, but yeah, I do think arbitrage is going to be good. Um, I would want to. What else is nearby you? Asheville or no?
Asheville's about an hour away.
Okay.
I mean, Greenville's really booming. Like I said, my other properties are doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you identified that there's a certain type of property in Greenville that's doing well? That if you're going to arbitrage, like say, if you could exchange your house for a different type of house, that you say this is ideal.
I haven't. I mean, that was kind of on my to-do list to ask you to help me with that also. Like what kind of properties are um I
Sure, I could do
mean,
that. I just think it's
we
since you
have
guys could
bigger
exchange.
houses and I mean, they're doing well. But there's also a higher holding cost. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, if you know properties that you like, that like, wow, these properties do really good, and then some don't do good, your internal data is always a good compass, and that's why I'm asking.
Okay.
We can go and do research to see what's getting pushed, to find out what we might like to pick up. But if you have internal data, you can always copy and scale what you do well that's working. If you don't think that you have anything that's really working, then yeah, we go to the market and look for new ideas.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like our bigger houses are working. We have, like I said, that one's a 7 bedroom. I mean, of course, it always could be better, but it's going well. It's 6 figures. Um, and we have a 5 bedroom, 2 5 bedrooms. They're doing well. Uh,
okay, so size is doing good. Size is
yeah,
good. Okay.
yeah. I
Any
guess that's
amenities?
my niche is large groups, but I mean, I'm also, think about I could change it up. I could do smaller ones. I'm not sure.
Yeah. By the way, Marjorie will probably would like to talk to you about buying your stuff if you don't arbitrage, because she is
Okay.
adding stuff to her. The girl that was just on before you,
Yeah, yeah.
she's doing her thing.
Okay, yeah, I see
Um,
that.
so you got that. But with that said, if you can identify a neighborhood that you think you like for size, amenities that you think customers like the most, you can then just make sure you do it right on the way in. Um, and then so let's actually take a look at South Carolina, right? Greenville. So it looks like the west side of Greenville's got a bunch of stuff. You got these northern suburbs, you got these western suburbs, and then you've got like this west side of Greenville proper, it looks like, maybe downtown.
Yep,
Okay. So then we've got big A-frame stuff, like rural, secluded, big cabins. That's a lot of that, right?
that's my cabin. Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, probably. I'm sorry, I didn't see your screen for a second.
No,
Oh,
you're fine.
that's yeah, my cabin, the A-frame. Yep.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And this is one of the ones that you're keeping?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Okay, cool. So hot tub, views, big windows, A-frame, some good creature comforts. Very cool. So if you wanted to keep expanding into this, great, right? And there, it looks like there's definitely a market for this northern suburb cabin stuff. Appalachian Trail kind of stuff, I'm assuming? Or
No,
no? No? Okay. Different
no.
location? Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna guess.
Yeah, a little
I was
different.
gonna guess. Okay. And then let's see. Yeah, just a lot of northern suburb stuff so far. This whole pocket,
Yeah,
right?
that's where my house is now that unfortunately we'll getting rid of, but
One that's not gonna win. Okay.
yeah.
Let's see. We got stuff in the water, of course, is always good.
The
So
city, the people love the city.
like this West End downtown stuff, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Do you have a charger?
cool. So yeah, let's dig in. So this stretch over here, um, hold on.
People love the city and we would love to have something in the city, but you're not allowed to, you know? So but I mean they're
What's exactly the regulations that you're not allowed to?
I don't know that yet. I don't know
Okay,
that yet, but I
yeah,
do know
that's a
that
really
there are
important point.
Airbnbs in downtown. Um, so
Did you
there's
say
pockets where it's okay, and I guess there's pockets where it's not, but I haven't done the homework on that.
okay, Greenville, South Carolina, Airbnb regulations? Okay. Stays under 30 days are generally prohibited in purely residential, in just purely residential, and are only permitted in designated commercial mixed use MX2, MX3. That's totally fine. Okay. So if you do mixed use, you can actually do big properties in mixed use. That would be really fun. We kind of do the same thing in Philly or Fort Worth. So with that said, when we look downtown, we also can look for okay, so there's a lot of one bedrooms, two bedrooms. But there's actually this five-bedroom home down here in Greenville. This person either is in a mixed use area or is just like said, screw the regulations, right?
Yeah, I guess
Maybe
so.
it's possible. So there's the two bedrooms in the red brick. So these are multifamily or mixed use because the red brick makes that kind of obvious. Yeah, we don't have a lot of five bedrooms or a lot of big ones. So if we go here and look at beds, there's only 63 properties. But once we go past two beds, yeah, down to 18 for three, down to four, five for five. Five properties have five beds, right? And hold on, wow. So yeah, in all of this Greenville area here, like that, there's only five. So there's 20 homes like this. But we go like this. There's 15 homes in Greenville proper that have five or more beds, right? And so what we're going to see is we're probably going to see a lot of people either just on the outskirts of the Greenville regulations based on the map view, right?
Yeah.
So where this person is, they might be just outside of where they're supposed to be. I actually think they're probably still inside the regulated area based on that map. It looks like they probably are still inside of it because yeah, we go here. They're inside that map area. So there's people who are like bypassing the regulations somehow. You could though find like if I was looking for very like a three bedrooms apartment uh uh Greenville. Greenville.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't need to know how to spell. It's fine. Um, so we look at apartments.com. There are garden style apartments that we've done in different cities, and they usually tend to crush. They do really, really well. Garden styles are easier to find three bedrooms, and that's kind of why I bring them up. So if we find three beds, garden style properties that have good or decent amenities, like a gym, different things like that, you can really crush it. We're just looking for like this one right here, this three bedroom here, big open windows, brick. Um, but it's also a gray star. That can be tough. The lofts at Woodside Mill. Gray Star does do Airbnb sometimes, but we still just want to be careful about the gray stars.
Okay.
The loft at Greenville, this Tri-Bridge, actually looks
Mm-hmm.
like it's on the water too. That'd be a great one to start at, right? This water view is really cool. These big brick and stuff. You find three-bedroom properties that exist in like big lofty areas like this. You can get the size that you want in a context that other people can't get, right? That's a you can compete on bed economics with properties that most people don't have. And these unique spaces that are three beds in apartment complexes or multifamily, you're going to be able to do it regulation wise. But most people aren't really thinking like, oh, what is this? What is this untapped segment of the market? And having really pretty big ceilings, red brick, on the water, all this stuff, I think this type of property would be a big winner. Even though like you can tell the cabinets aren't very special, right? Okay. But even this property right here, that's not the point, right? You got size and probably at a cool location. You've got size and location.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, the question is 3 bedrooms. Let's see what they want though. 2 grand? Yeah, cool. You can get 3 beds for 2 grand.
Oh,
Big
wow.
field. Yeah, I think you really could really murder with something like this. So that's probably what I would try to validate in your market is we would just try to see like do 3 bedrooms near town, have full calendars, and we could do that right now. Sorry. Why am I telling you what to do when I could just show you what to do?
That's okay.
Um, so if
Um,
we're looking for 5 beds or more, and I'm looking for stuff in the mix here. And yeah, this has 149 reviews for this 3 bedroom with 5 beds. And it's
mm,
probably like a little casita, just a little house, right? This one is a 4 bedroom. Let's see if there's anything that's more on the nose for our style. No, it's all houses, right? So now here's the thing. We've got this real blue ocean opportunity, right? No one is doing big apartments, big windows, whatever. So the fact that it's blue ocean makes me really confident. The fact that there's very few properties with this many beds makes me very confident. This person's got bookings in October, it looks like, which is a good sign. They've got some October bookings, some September bookings, July, August. So they've got bookings, right? Which is cool. Um, and it's just like a little house, right? That's the thing. It's just like a little house that sleeps 6 people, and
yeah.
it's nothing too special. And so if we find that these different 3 bedrooms have booking activity, um, I mean, these are some of these are just super ugly though. And that's the thing. Like if these ugly listings have bookings at all, that's a huge green flag for us. Because of course, what we're looking
Okay.
for, we're looking to beat people.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. They've got an August booking, but they're so ugly. Like I would
Yeah.
expect this listing really not to have any bookings, but they have an August booking. So the fact that they have bookings at all is also again a green flag. Um, I think that this concept of like having this like really blue ocean opportunity here, like this 6 bedrooms. Wow, this person's really brave. Because I don't know how they would be legally able to do this. But this 6 bedroom
Hmm.
house in the because like we just saw the regulations don't allow it, so there might be but look at their October slammed, right? September's got a bunch of bookings, August. So this is a good example of somebody who's breaking the rules is absolutely crushing it. And so if you do decide to be a little bit more risk taking, you can start breaking into Greenville and just kind of like skirting the regulation enforcement. However, this person is pulling it off, they're pulling it off. We can find out how they're pulling it off. Um, let's see if there's a right. Yeah, they don't have a permit number on their listing, so they're definitely doing it under the radar. Um,
I wonder
so
how
this
long
would be,
they've been doing that.
well, they have 156 reviews, probably going
Oh,
back multiple years.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is all the tough advice. Like, I don't think I'm technically allowed to say you should violate the law, right, or violate regulations, but I can tell you, you throw a stone in any city, and you're going to find somebody who's found a like a savvy way to coexist with regulations, and maybe a way that the city may not like to know about. But yeah, if you want to go full clean, MX2, MX3 mixed use, 3 bedrooms in mixed use, like apartment lofts, you probably could do those really well. But we've also just stumbled over any house with size that has any quality at all because of the regulations. There's very few homes, which means junk homes are doing really well downtown. You
Mm,
just have to find a
mm-hmm.
way to make it work with the regulations or be comfortable with making it work without regulations.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, this idea is just like, okay, maybe, I've just only been comfortable doing my own properties, but I mean, we've been successful. So a
Yeah,
little out
because
of my comfort zone, but
now you're good at the model, right? So a lot of people get into Airbnb because they have real estate and they'd like to make a little bit more money and the economics are attractive. But then a lot of real estate people realize that hospitality takes work or skills that they don't want to develop. And so the real estate people just back away. They maybe hire a co-host or they get out. And then
mm-hmm.
for the rare few of us, we go, wow, this is great. I'm good at this. I like
Mm-hmm.
guests. I like design. I like the systems that I've built. I think I could be a business owner in this space. And I think that's kind of like what I'm hearing from you. And
Yeah.
yeah. And when you're a business owner, it doesn't matter how you hold the property. You can own it, you can arbitrage, you can do co-host. It's about the performance of hospitality and right. So you can do any of the three. And I do think, yeah, it looks like Greenville has a really interesting little opportunity as long as you are a little risk taking with the regulations. Oh, you can murder, which is cool. Yeah. So if you want to do the safe multifamily 3 unit lofts, if you just want to go for broke to the moon, Bonnie and Clyde, the thing, this link I just shared with you is a listing that I think is pulling a Bonnie and Clyde, and they're making a lot of
Yeah.
money
Okay. Yeah. I'll look at that link and then I guess search through the course on
on how to pitch it, how to talk
how to
about
pitch it.
how to talk
Yeah.
arbitrage.
That part makes me nervous, but
Lean on the fact that you're an owner. When you talk to other homeowners, the fact that you're also a homeowner, it's like this is this thing, right?
yeah.
Landlords don't respect tenants because they can't buy a property, right? You are some peon that needs to rent my asset, right? I'm better than you. That's a pretty common landlord perspective. But if you also own property, all of a sudden you're in this upper class of owners, right? I'm an owner too. I own a couple properties north of here. I've got some cabins. I'm looking to do some stuff downtown. You are
Mm-hmm.
now you're above the peon level that they look down on. So that conversation that you have with owners, you get instant respect because you also own property.
Hmm. Yeah.
It'll be way easier than you think, actually, is I guess what I'm telling you. It actually looks like your world is going to be a lot easier. It's going to be the properties can be pretty easy to run, it looks like. Talking to landlords will be easy since you own a property. Um, yeah. Of course, as you go through the material, I'll coach you through it. But the one thing I want to give you is this is going to be way easier than you imagine. I can guarantee that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got to my husband and I we have to probably jump in quickly because we have just a few handful of weeks before we either move the all a 7 bedroom house full of stuff and store it or sell it or so yeah,
Yeah.
I this has kind of come upon me
You know,
quickly, but I think I'm kind of excited,
good.
so
Excited's the right energy. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? There's one
mm,
time I
yeah.
needed to make $100,000 in a month, or I was going to have a very bad consequence. And that was the first time I ever charged for a webinar. I did an $80 webinar. My algorithm webinar was born out of the need for a very fast $100,000.
Hmm,
And that resourcefulness that came from the pressure turned into me doing mini courses that have been very valuable for my brand. So yeah, sometimes the other side of the challenge comes this there's so much wind in your sail from doing something new. And yeah, you could take this from now owning two properties to owning two, having 10 arbitrage and having a plethora of co-host deals. You could have 70 properties 2 years from now if you go arbitrage and then into co-hosting at the same time. And you go, I don't even recognize my business anymore. We thought we were downsizing and now we're at 70 doors. That can come from the pressure. The pressure creates the momentum. And as long as you keep that momentum once you're out of the thing that's giving you the pressure, right? You learn the performance through the pressure with this thing. Like, oh, we've got to figure this out in 3 weeks. When you solve this, that momentum from solving it, just don't let off the gas. Be like, oh, we're
mm,
doing something now. We're doing something new. We're playing an aggressive game. Continue that aggression into 10 doors, right? Don't stop once you survive. Don't let that, because that need to survive, that pressure from survival, I need to be resourceful, I need a solution. It's the best energy that you can build a company with. Like you'll be unstoppable. But a lot of people they get safe and then they stop right away, right? So you're
yeah.
going to figure this out, but when you figure this out, don't stop. Go for more. Use that energy to go for more. And I think you're really going to like what you see even 6 months from now.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this might be good timing because we're kind of in a place where we're not sure. It's been a hard season. We're trying to paddle up through it, but we're not sure what's next. Like, what is the vision? And we need to cast a new vision and get excited about something again. So,
This actually looks like one that you can get excited about. So let's try to play an aggressive game. Let's turn this need for a solution into a reason to get aggressive. And then let's turn this, you're going to get a quick win. Let's turn the first quick win, which is finding a landlord in Greenville that'll do business with you. Let's turn that first quick win into something that you can systemize and do it multiple times over.
okay, great. Thank you. So, my next step is calling people, rentals, or people who've
Yeah.
had their house on the market for.
Yeah. I would try to call people who have it for sale too. Be like, hey, I see you've been for sale for a while. I'm also an owner, and I'm doing Airbnb now. You could say it like that. I'm doing
Okay.
Airbnb now kind of implies recency. They don't need to know that when like that initial 30 seconds, now doesn't need to like, oh, I got an Airbnb years ago, right? You don't have to say that, but say, hey, I see you're an owner trying to sell. I'm also a homeowner with a property that I've been trying to sell. But I've gotten into Airbnb now, and that brings me to you because I'm actually looking for more properties to do Airbnb. I'd like to Airbnb your property, right? I'll rent from you, or we can do a partnership deal. I'm just looking for more stuff downtown because I'm in the northern suburbs, and I really think your property would be a good fit for downtown. But that I can relate to you. I'm an owner that's also got a property that I'm selling. Um, that relatability on the phone call should tear down all those barriers.
Okay, great. Well, I'll probably, the only other question I think that is how, if someone wants to partner, how would that look? But I can,
They buy all the furniture. They could buy the furniture from you since you've got some. You can help them do the setup for like a little setup fee, and then you probably charge like 25% of the revenue for a big house, and they keep 75%.
yeah,
Yeah,
see,
but
I
we,
have all the furniture.
yeah, exactly. So you
So
could say,
I
you could
don't really
say,
want to do that. I don't really want to make that small amount after making 100%. So,
well, the thing is,
um,
like, it's a part for scale, but you can give people an option because let's say you call three houses, right? And one rents to you and two want to do partnership, take all three, right?
okay.
Yeah. I mean, this you could literally turn this into 10 doors in 2 months. Like the motivation from the pressure, like I've got to do some phone calls. I got to outbound phone call these people right now, right? That pressure to get the deal done, you can do a lot of volume because you need to, but you can be rewarded way more than the minimum like the necessary increment to survive. Right now, the first thing you need is a new home for your furniture, right? It's kind of the thing you need. But all of the
Yes.
activity you do from calling landlords or calling homeowners, you might pick up 3 or 4 properties in this wave of energy that you put into the universe. And now you have more properties. Even though you were only calling to pick up one, you might trip over four, right? And I wouldn't say no to all four if you get them, right? Um, be rewarded for your effort. Yeah, I think this is going to go well. I just, my intuition says this is going to go well for you.
Okay. And then if I'm renting from someone and, they want $2,000 a month for rent and I want to do an Airbnb, I mean, that does feel like more of a risk for them. So do people ask, well, what's in it for me? Why would I rent to you as opposed to, a
Well,
family of
yeah. So,
three?
we'll sign a 3 year long lease, so you won't have any tenant turnover because tenant turnover is super expensive for landlords. So we'll sign a
Okay.
3 year long lease. We can move right away. A lot of tenants want to start their lease in 45 days. We'll start it right now, right? We'll get going, right?
Okay.
Um, Also, we manage this property like a landlord because our customers need a beautiful property. So we're going to take care of this property just like the homes that I own, right?
Mm,
You're never gonna have a tenant with this much care for the property, right? We're gonna be business partners together. It's not gonna be adversarial relationship, tenant versus landlord. We're both business owners.
mm,
There's a
okay.
lot that's good. There's a lot that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Well,
not
I'll
as
dig into the course. I'm sure it's all in there. So
it's all in there. It absolutely is. So
thanks so much, Sean.
yeah, happy to help. All right, we are on to the next token. That was a cool little plot twist. Mina, you are next. Let's pull you up to the top. I think there you are. Welcome to the front.
Hello, Sean. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So continuing on our operation trend that were talked about last week and the week before, right?
Hmm.
The, the 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 cleaner, the new cleaner that I hired, right? Remember, I made the
Yeah, the
back
backup cleaner. Yeah,
right,
the one that took too long.
right? Yeah, yeah. It's she finished exactly at the hour, and it was pretty stressful because it was last minute. The guest was coming in, she was leaving, right?
Yeah.
And she had somebody to help her yesterday.
Okay.
Today, I don't see that additional helper, and I am nervous that she is gonna not finish on time. I told her let's finish 3:30, half an hour earlier, right? Let's
Yeah.
plan on that. But I don't know how confident she is in this, so I don't
Yeah.
know
Well,
what to do about it.
this is why we do hunt down for another cleaner immediately. That we give them tryouts with our property because if any like housekeeper that you hire just really can't hold their own, like we do want to rotate out for a more reliable cleaner. So that's the point of like what we talked about before. Play a more aggressive game. Find another cleaner right away that you're going to give them a chance to, so that we already always have a backup cleaner on standby. She already agreed to this too, right? She already made that agreement.
Yeah, she agreed to
Yeah.
the four. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah. Um, Now the best way to get her to do her job is for you to have a backup plan, right? If you have another company that can clean, it is a very real possibility that you just won't continue to hire her, and now her fear of loss is there. If she's your only housekeeper, then she's like, oh, he's got to deal with it. The psychology flips. So the very first thing you can do is find another cleaning company that you can give them like an opportunity to try to earn your business. And her knowing that you're staying true to what you said, she's going to have to perform and perform well, or she knows she's going to lose the gig, right? So that's what really puts you in control. So let's
I,
continue the plan.
I agree. I agree. But the challenge here is that she's new, right? She has been, doing this for a few times. So I'm trying to ramp her up and have her learn the SOP and all that.
Mhm.
And most of the cleans are back to back, like same day turnovers. So even
Yep.
if I hire a backup cleaner, the chances of them finishing on time would be way less than her finishing on time right now, right?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Um, so we okay, so you have some bookings a week from now, right?
I have bookings all the way until mid-August. They're all back to
Okay,
back.
so here's the thing. You know that those dates are of that they're going to need a cleaning. Call the cleaning company, say, "Hey, I'd like to try you out. I've got like a property that we do short-term rentals. I'd like to know what your rates are. I'd like to give you a chance. How's like in 10 days from now? 10 days from now, I've got a checkout. You got to like I want to put you on the books for that. You can call around to different cleaning companies and put them on the books for a specific day in the future because you already know those days, you know? Um, so there's not going to be this last minute communication because you already have these bookings, right? So pre-reserve those ones to try out these different cleaning companies. Now for this one, you want to talk to her and go, hey, so what do you think is the challenge that makes it harder for you to clean inside of 5 hours? Like, well, how are you
Six
doing that?
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she should be starting the laundry and then clean while she's like the laundry's running and then switch out the laundry and continue to clean while the laundry's running, right? Her like having the laundry running from moment number one while she's cleaning is the
Mhm.
real secret to getting this done inside of 6 hours. And that's the main thing I would check with her to see if she's starting the
Yeah.
laundry right away.
Yeah, and we agreed on an offsite, so she comes with already she washes the linens in her house, and she comes already with a new set of clean linen. So I don't know why it takes that long.
If it takes 5 hours to clean, she can do the laundry at your property. It's like how big is the property?
It's like 3,500 or 4,000.
Okay, yeah. So with 4,000 square feet, she definitely does need a team. It's required that she has a team. That's a lot of square feet.
I see.
Yeah. So there's this property in Scottsdale that I got that's like 6,000 square feet. And a team of four comes in and does it. It's like 6,400 square feet, and a team of four comes in.
So that's stressful that she agreed to at least in the same day turnovers to get somebody to help her. This lady came yesterday, but I don't see her today. So
Yeah. So if you let her know what days are coming up, she can plan ahead,
I
right?
did. I
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Um, You might, yeah, you definitely want to give other people tryouts. That's the main thing you want to do is pre-book these other people for tryouts. Vendor management's a big deal for you. Big,
Mm. Hey, Sean.
yep, I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah. So these people who are gonna try, I'm gonna try them out. Those are also a risk, right? What if they don't finish and
Yeah. Well, that's the risk. You're still going through these new vendors, but you're going to set these expectations. You're going to say, hey, this property is 5,000 square feet, almost. I'm trying out different housekeeping companies to see if I like one. I'd like to give you a day. Can you clean a property this size inside of 4 or 5 hours? Um, and yeah, there's always a risk. There's always a risk, but the best way to find out is to give them the job. And then if one does a good job, you're going to give them the job again. And I would never full time a clean like I never first chair a cleaning company that hasn't already cleaned for me a few times and has proven consistency. So
yeah. So
you're
that
you're
that may be a
you're
mistake I
absolutely
did
correct.
before I fired my cleaner, right?
Yep, that's right. You made the switch too quickly. You had a backup cleaner, and you made it sound like you trusted them,
I
right?
did because she came two times, and then on the second time she finished at four, right? So I said, okay, then the third time she could finish on time as well.
Yeah. So
Which she did
maybe
yesterday, but it's just barely on time. It's nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah, so in this case, she did jump through the hoops to try to win your trust, and now she's letting you down. This can happen. Like it's like hiring employees. They're on their best behavior initially, and then sometimes they start to unravel. Um, so yeah, this is the thing. I think you want to immediately start looking for another housekeeping company to plan your vendors, right?
Okay.
Um, so call around, get some bids, see if there's bids you like. Give a couple different companies like jobs like a week from now. Let them have time to like accommodate the fact that they could pick up your property and start doing tryouts. And it's always good to have two or three cleaning companies on the line because, yeah, if this girl lets you down one day, you might need to call in like a miracle. And having two or three companies that one of them will go, yeah, we'll be right over. We'll be right there. You always want to have somebody in the phone like that.
Yeah. And how about 1 month from now? So I can blog the night after, so it doesn't become same day clean and don't
No, no,
risk.
you still love your same day cleans. It's okay. Like that's the thing. You say, hey, you can show up at like 10 and we have to be done before 4. Is that something like it's a big property? You probably want to have two cleaners come at least. Is this something you can do? Right? I put my properties to work. I want to make the money, right? Um, and you just put those expectations on the cleaning company. Go, here's how we run our business. Here's some photos of the property. Be like really communicative. Here's our check-in guide. Here's the photos of the property. Here's the Airbnb listing.
I
Here's our
see.
cleaning window. Just over communicate and go, okay, can you do this? Can you do a property like this? And what's your bid? And yes, spend the time shopping around. And
Got it.
I don't think it's going to be as hard as you think. This is new for you, like the whole like putting pressure on vendors. Like
Mm,
like remember I told you like people probably like push you around a little bit too much. Um, and this we're reversing that energy. You are putting pressure on your vendors. You're going to get them to jump through hoops to win the business, and they're going to be afraid of losing the business because you're in control. You've got another vendor on backup. It's going to be really cool once you get this done. Um, and
yeah.
and do not be afraid of somebody falling short. You're putting pressure on them to rise to the occasion. You're getting them to give you that commitment, be like, yes, we can clean. Yes, we can do it in 5 hours. We're going to bring 3 people. It's going to be $300, what might be what somebody says. And you either take it or you leave it, right? Um, and then you negotiate, be like, hey, I liked how you cleaned, but 300 is too high. I think I can give you permanent work or consistent work at this price instead, right? And you negotiate the rate and see if they're willing to continue working with you for a lower price, right? Negotiate.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. And for this lady, maybe she doesn't think that there is a problem. So maybe I'll tell her, you know what, this is not acceptable,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah, you
right.
could say, I can lose $1,000 by letting you take an hour too long.
Yeah.
Your 1 hour delay can cost me $1,000, and that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just that being late's unacceptable. You'll say you being late, you taking an extra hour can cost me $1,000 giving somebody a refund, and that would be unacceptable, right? So
Yeah.
it's the consequence of you being an hour late that's unacceptable. Don't just make it like unprincipled, like you have to be done by 4 because that's unacceptable. No, there's a very real reason why you can't be done after 4. Um,
Right.
you gotta make the stakes real to somebody, and they go, okay, if I want to do business with this guy, I have to protect his business. I understand what the cost is. I understand what the stakes are. They either rise to the challenge or they don't. And you know what? If you communicate well, like I'm saying, like here's the Airbnb listing, here's the photos, here's the check-in guide, here's our systems, here's how we roll. Can you work with us? Can you play our game? That level of communication, people are going to buy in. They're going to know what they're getting themselves into. They're going to feel good about the relationship because you communicated right, you set the right standards. They're going to perform to your standards. They're going to feel good. You're going to do good business. There are people out there capable of doing good business.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ron. And then on the maintenance side, how do I reduce the maintenance cost? Like I looked at the expenses, right? Last
Mhm.
6 months, 12,000, right? Just simple things, right? Um,
You're going to stock air filters in your property in the cleaning closet, okay? And
mhm.
you're going to have a deep cleaning schedule where the air filters get changed. Your housekeepers should have tools. Okay, you're going to have Allen wrenches and screwdrivers and stuff. So the housekeepers will tighten down the toilet seats. They're going to tighten down the furniture. They're going to check the chairs and stuff. They're going to shake the chairs to make sure that they're not loose. And they're going to Allen wrench down the loose furniture. Like a lot of little touches. The housekeeping team does the little touches, and that's going to prevent a lot of these issues, right? Um, the air filters and proactive maintenance of the AC unit will prevent your AC unit from getting dirty, going down. That's a big one. Um, and like yeah, those the like the 5-step cleaning system we have in the company in the course. it gives this conceptual, the very first two phases of our cleaning system isn't even cleaning. It's preventative maintenance and like wellness checks of the home.
Got it.
So prevention is worth more than cure. So if you prevent the problems through good preventative maintenance, you won't have the expensive maintenance.
Got it. And is that in the Cracking Superhost videos,
Yep.
or that's a separate
Yep.
module?
That's in Cracking Super. So there's actually what we call Clean Team Dream Team. It used to be an up thing, but we're giving it away to everybody for free now.
Yeah, but I cannot find that. I only have access to Cracking Superhost, right?
Yeah, I think it's per request. So we just need to reach out to like Jaddy in our
Okay.
on our company and ask for access to Clean Team.
Jaddy? Okay.
Jaddy. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Jaddy.
Jady. So I how do I reach her? Email or?
If you hit the @ symbol in Cracking Super Roast and start typing Jaddy, Jaddy Alexander is her name, it'll pop up.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. And how after I do this, how do I review? Like, if I would like to review my checklist and my SOP document, can I send that to you?
Yeah, you can bring him here. You can bring him here.
Can bring it now?
Oh, you can bring him here. Like, you already have. I don't think your SOPs are probably good right now. I think you probably should watch Clean Team Dream Team and reimagine your stuff
Okay.
and come up with a version 2, and then bringing me your version 2, and then I'll review your version 2. I think is what I think. Because do you know what the 5 steps of our 5-step cleaning system is?
Not yet.
No, so you don't know what the 4 mantras of step 4 are either, right?
No.
Yeah, so I think if you watch the Clean Team Dream Team, you're going to learn so much and go, "Oh my God, I understand so much now." And you're going to self-correct your SOPs, and then you come to me with your new version, your new understanding.
I will do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
thanks.
otherwise I'll just shred yours apart right now. And you're going to watch Clean Team Dream Team anyway. There's no point. We get to work on once you get to a place of you think you really do have understanding, I will coach you from that position of understanding, right? So
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And what is the vendor policy that I should have? Like one guest asked me that they want to bring some vendor to do cooking on site, and I said,
Um, Well, it depends on the type of cooking, right? They want to have a chef come and use your kitchen. I think that's okay, right? They want to
mm,
have a hibachi person that puts up a propane thing. They
hibachi.
want to put it up outside. That's okay, right?
I see.
But if they want to do this open flame paella Brazilian thing inside your home where they like do this crazy thing, that's a risk. So there's going to be insurance limitations, I think. So
Mm,
yeah, just ask for some information, assess the risk, and let people do stuff. You're in hospitality. We never say no. We only tell them how much, right? That's a Ritz-Carlton thing. Never tell somebody no. If something is too much of a risk, you say, here's how much it's going to cost, right? So if somebody wants to do like an open flame Brazilian thing in your house, you say, okay, for me to like to add this to my insurance policy, it's going to be $3,000 for the night for me
mm,
to be able to insure this. And then people go, oh no, I'm not going to pay you that. Right. But you didn't say no. You said like an event insurance policy that includes this big fire inside the house, it'll cost 3,000. So you never say no, you tell them how much. And so that means for like the hibachi outside, be like, okay, we'll have to do some extra yard cleaning. So it's be an extra $150 to do hibachi outside so we can clean the yard. You want to do something in the kitchen, you might not even charge for that, right? So, but you always like ask more questions, keep them talking, and then decide how much you want to charge them for things. And that's the secret to hospitality. That's the secret to luxury hospitality. Um, like I'm at a hotel here in Vegas, and if I want to do something super goofball, they would probably say, okay, 20 grand, but they'll do it, right? Um, that's hospitality.
interesting. And how do I price that? Like,
I guess when you have these things, when you have a request list, send me messages in Cracking Super's Facebook group, and we can talk about the rates. I can tell you what I think I would charge, but case by case, absolutely case by case.
got it. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks. And you want to look at the pricing again from last week? I got
Sure.
2 bookings on August. Thank
We
you.
love that. We love that. What's the beginning of your email?
Armanius, ARMANYOS.
Yeah, one second. I gotta sign up. Am I in your price labs, or were we looking at somewhere else?
Yeah, you got the I shared the logins.
Armani Yosmina?
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. So you got 2 more bookings in August. Let's see here.
But these had rule sets in Airbnb before we talked, right? So it
That's
was
fine.
like it had 10% discount.
Okay, I think we can remove your last minute discount because you're so booked all the time. You don't need that. So let's undo that. A little rate retention. Um, you do have your far future rate protection there. Hold on, you got your markups built into this. That's fine. You are booked October 1, 2, 3. I think, yeah, you probably can raise your far future rates a little bit more too. How do we want to do this? Where's your zones? Yeah, let's look at your zones. That's right. I think you can go up in the 50, 75 range, even more. I think these can go up.
And I got a booking in VRBO in 2028 where Price
Wow.
Lab wasn't pushing anything into pricing. So they snatched uh, cheap booking like 700 per night or something, and they check in Saturday. So
Um, that's crazy. So the price lab, yeah, price labs doesn't go that far. You're right.
yeah, yeah, that's crazy. So I called VRBO. I told them to cancel.
Yeah, we can't do that. So I guess yeah, for verbal, you have to make sure that you're booking your maximum booking window is 18 months out. Just protect
Right,
you. Yeah, because that rate protection thing we do with the far future, yeah, like it would work 2 years out if Price Labs would push the prices 2 years out, right? But they don't. So, oops.
right.
Great. Actually, here's what you do: make your base rates on Verbo, like make your standard rates on Verbo like $4,000 a night.
Yeah,
So the default prices are just insanity.
right.
That'll protect you. And then when Price Labs finally takes over in 2028, right? Then your price will be 900 and 1,500, but your prices are $4,000 until then.
Got it.
Yeah, that's your fix. So with that said, we did increase this kind of range here where your prices will kind of go up out here a little bit more because I think you can do a little bit better there. Um, we already have your orphan days already kind of like built in. Orphan day
What?
prices.
Yeah. What does that mean on the orphan days?
Hold on, actually, we need more. These orphan days are wrong. Okay.
I actually there was something here, but oh, these are wrong. Okay.
So yeah, we're not going to drop your weekends ever. Okay. Not necessary. Um, your percentage down for 2 day gaps. We'll probably do like 2 day gaps inside of like 35 days, and then 2 day gaps more than 36 days out. We will do like 12, and then this percentage down. And then anytime that both weekends are booked, you're still going to go like down 10% in 3 to 6 day gaps. Okay. So an orphan day is when there's bookings and there's days stuck in the middle. So a 6 night orphan day gap would be, let's say somebody books Friday, Saturday, right? And they check out on Sunday. You have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like Thursday. You got all those days available, and then the next weekend is booked. So somebody checks in Saturday the next week. Those 6 days in between both weekends would be considered orphan days because both
Mm,
weekends are booked. So here, a 2 day orphan day would be like, say somebody checks out on Sunday, and then Sunday and Monday is available, and then you have a reservation on Tuesday. That's a 2 day gap. And so the
nice.
Sunday, Monday is going to go down 12%. So your orphan day prices are a little bit goofball, but now they're fixed. So now what you're going to have happen is when your weekends book, your weekdays are going to proactively come down a little bit more, right? So these days will drive down. See, these days drive down faster because you got a 4 day orphan gap here. So these are going to be 10% lower because you've now got a 4 day orphan gap logic.
Yeah.
Days are
But I
in.
did the minimum 500, right? It's okay, right?
If these still get booked, if they get booked, yes.
Mm,
If they don't get booked, then no. But I think you're doing really well. The only thing I would do now is for these days, on Airbnb, I would do an adjacency rule set that somebody gets a 2 day discount if they book. But you also have a 2 day minimum. So the 2 day discount actually isn't going to be like if you don't do 1 day stays, your adjacency rule set would be like a 3 day discount if somebody books 3 days. You could also do what's called a perfect fit four, where you put a rule set on these 4 days. If somebody books all 4 days, they get a discount. Those are rule sets that you could use.
I see. So all
Yeah.
the all I need to do is rule sets for the weekdays, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is what we would call booking flow. As bookings flow in, and your calendar changes, we need to adapt for that. So you see how you got these days are kind of like a gaps, your Wednesdays here that are blocked,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So you got a 3 day booking here and you got for 700, it's 2,100, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now let's say these prices, right now you're at 50 set, like 570, 500, 500. They give you missed this $500 one, right? So you could make a rule set for a 4 day stay where if somebody books for 4 days, they get like $300 off their stay, right? Because
Mm.
this extra day won't get booked anyway. It looks like your Wednesdays never book. So if you gave $300 off of all 4 days, then you would still make a couple $100 more because the
Right.
Wednesday would finally get booked. And that would be the example of of a rule set. If I were you, if Wednesdays are the ones that are always left behind, what I would do is on this Wednesday, I would just do a 3 day discount. If somebody books Wednesday for 3 days or longer, then this Wednesday has a discount, and you just apply the coupon just a Wednesday. You could do that.
I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be the easy way to get it done. Actually, you could do 4 day discount. If somebody books Wednesday for 4 days, then Wednesday is like 66% off. You do a 66% off 4 day stay and you apply it to Wednesday. That'd be the easiest way to build the discount in for this kind of thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And the September looks okay. The September Labor weekend, since it's most of the market is booked and I'm not.
Say that one more time.
The September first weekend,
Hmm.
most of the market is booked, but my property is not.
Okay, let's take a look at that. September 1st week, September 6th and 5th.
Yeah, September first weekend. So
Yeah, that's okay. The market's got a lot of momentum right now. It's got 5.6% of the market is getting booked every 7 days. You've got all the time in the world. We talked about this before. I think you're fine. I think you're
perfect.
fine. Yeah, you're still fine. Um, so yeah, let it go. Stay comfortable.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. All right, we got Jerry. Jerry, we got time for you now, right, Jerry? Welcome to the front. Welcome back.
Hey Sean, sorry about that earlier.
All good.
Happy Saturday. So today I would like to just kind of go over some big picture brainstorming with you. Um,
Okay.
so like the rental market isn't great right now. It's just as we talked before, like kind of the wrong time of the season, I think. But I'm still monitoring it because you never know what comes up. There are quite a few places that have been for sale for a while, and so I think I'm going to start doing the market research on those and seeing if I want to approach any of those homeowners. However, like kind of like you and I talked a couple weeks ago, I think like the big push for us should be this winter
Hmm.
and really scale up in that kind of January, February, March area. And I'd
Yeah,
love
take
to
advantage
just
of
come.
when landlords are scared.
Yep, yep. And just freaking come into next peak season with like a wrecking ball.
Yeah,
That
that's
being
good.
said, um, I'm fidgeting, Sean. I'm itching. I'm itching to do stuff. The last 2 3 weeks, I've been building out kind of like systems and stuff for us to like lay the
Sure.
groundwork to scale up quickly and efficiently in a lot of different ways. So that's been really cool. But now that like I'm starting to get those systems done and tweaked, it's like okay, I need a job. I'm going freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Um, and so I wanted your thought on that, but also, so Corinna right now is kind of like split right now. She's working the business. She's the cleaner and the guest communications, and then like she's also working her side job. And we're trying to figure out how we could get her to just like focus purely on our business, whether that means like vertical integration, like creating like a cleaning company or something.
Hmm.
Um, because like if we have her focused full time like I am, I mean, it's a no brainer. Like the business is just going to be better off for it.
Sure.
So yeah, all that being said, I just wanted to pick your brain and see what you
Yeah, I think you guys
see.
should get into co-hosting until the winter because if you pick up a co-hosting client, it doesn't matter that you're doing it with bad timing because it's not your downside risk, you know?
Right.
So you can use your very recent success right now and say, we just had a great few months, and you could pitch that to other people who'd be interested in doing short-term rentals, and you co-host as a revenue agreement. You let them know, hey, the winter's going to be a little bit like the winter's going to be a little bit rough, possibly, but that's how this works. But you're going to have booms and busts, right? Try to find
Yep.
homeowners that have attached garages, right? Go find homeowners with
Hmm.
attached garages and do co-hosting.
Yep.
Okay, let's get that.
Okay.
If you prospect for co-hosting, that'll keep you busy. They keep you chewing on something. You can win properties today and don't have to worry about the timing. I think that's going to be your best bet. And you can get to a point of scale that justifies Karina coming on full time. But you need to get to a point of
Yep.
scale, right?
Yeah.
Chicken and egg,
Yep. Yep.
right? It's a chicken and egg thing. And I think co-hosting right now is your best move. And then arbitrage in the winter was a genius idea. Absolutely correct.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know co-hosting has been talked about a lot in the program, and
Mhm.
so that's a I'm pretty naive when it comes to that, like as far as like agreements and like percentages and stuff. And so like is there any coursework in that?
So pitching, co-hosting, requires like a slide deck. Um, and so what I think I need to give you is I probably need to give you an example of one of my slide decks. Um,
Okay.
okay, this is my slide deck for a commercial arbitrage deal in Australia that I pitched. I made a company called Palo Alto as my Australia brand. It's coming in the chat here soon. Um,
Okay.
Now the thing about a pitch deck, the pitch deck I think is it's one thing I want you to be able to see. But aside from aside from just the fact that here's what a pitch deck is, which is coming in the chat here in a second. Um, the format of a pitch deck for co-hosting is specific, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when we kind of want to go, we want to go opportunity, um, 10,000 foot view. I'm going to type it in chat. Opportunity 10,000 foot view was the opening, right? Um, and then I've got this but wait plot twist, right? And so the opportunity 10,000 foot view is very opportunistic, very polished, but wait. That but wait is this industry isn't just passive easy, right? And then you do like industry um, deep dive kind of thing or industry anatomy. I think maybe anatomy is better,
Okay.
right? Or recipe, right? Um, or recipe, yeah, I think recipe and risks, I think is a great chapter name, right? So you got the 10,000 foot view, then you got a but wait slide. It's not, even though this makes so much money, not everybody's doing short-term rentals, and you need to know why. And then you have the recipe and risks section, which is here's what it takes to run a good short-term rental. Here's the risks of the rental. It's daily work, hospitality, answering phone calls, being good to guests, good design. You have the recipe and risk side, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
um, you can actually continue the recipe and risk things, and our sauce would be the next segment of your pitch deck. And here's how
Yeah.
we do each one of these well. And what you do is you use your listings as visual proof that you do these things well. Five-star reviews, pricing changes, design, guest communications, right? All the things that you think make a really good, well-run hospitality business, that all goes into our sauce. Um, and then
Okay. Makes
and then
sense.
you say and then you have your partnership offer section. Those are your chapters. 10,000 foot view, but wait transition to recipe and risks, our sauce, and then partnership offer. And that's how you outline like what a partnership would look like. Um, and then you have a timeline to success, which is an
Okay.
expectation which is expectation setting. And so that way they go, okay, we pick up a property, design make take some time, blah, 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 blah. Here's what it would look like. And within 2 months, you should be making profit, whatever, whatever. And then you could put a but what if section if you want to, that you don't show right away. So but what if hidden objections section, right? Um, and so you can actually visualize the hidden objection section in a but what if, and it could be actually a separate document, right? You have a separate slide deck for the but what ifs. Um, and what's really cool is you can make a clickable PDF. Okay. So when you do a
Okay. So
clickable PDF, it has
okay. So
chapters.
you're talking this is a document I was sending to a potential partner.
No, you don't send it. Goddamn no. Never
Okay.
send your pitch deck.
I was a little
You meet
confused.
you meet people in person, right? And then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
meet them at
okay,
a
yeah.
coffee shop, and you're gonna open your laptop or a tablet, and you're gonna swipe for them as you talk to them. You're gonna control the
Oh,
pages.
okay, okay. Visual aid. Okay,
Yeah, it's a visual aid, right?
okay.
So yeah, so it's going to be in-person pitch. Now, that pitch
Yeah.
deck that I gave you, the director of revenue for a company wanted to see some stuff after we did an in-person pitch. We made this to bring someone else in on the conversation, right?
Okay.
Pitch deck. But
So
no,
it, for
when you're
some reason,
co-hosting,
it
it's
is
in-person
not
stuff.
letting me download that.
Oh, it says
I,
click to open. Um, it says click to open. But if it doesn't work, then I'll have to send it to you somewhere, some other way. Let me
okay.
try to upload it to the cloud. And I'll get you the link. That's what we'll do. So 1 second. So, but the anatomy is what's important. And I've got one other thing for you to know aside from the anatomy is you could have two separate pitch decks, right? The one I just gave you with the opportunity, industry anatomy, like the recipes and risks thing, this is a really good getting started in short-term rentals pitch deck. Okay.
Okay.
Um, because it's for someone who doesn't know short-term rentals and you're giving them the bird's eye view down. You might have you could call it a listing teardown or a business teardown pitch deck, which your goal is to consult someone on their current performance to discover why they're not doing as well as they need to. And that pitch deck is for people
Yep.
who have a host already. Like say they're an owner and somebody else is their co-host. There's going to be another pitch deck that is designed to throw another co-host under the bus and steal their business.
Mm,
So there's
okay.
two different pitch decks you need because they're two different decision journeys, is the
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Okay, I've almost got this upload for you. Anyone with link? Okay. So
So
here's
with
my
this
outline.
co-hosting thing, are we like doing a separate account and business, or just running it all under
Yeah.
our current
Um, I would start a separate business. You can put their listings on your current Airbnb account though, okay? And do your distribution
one?
from there. But you probably will have another co-hosting arm. That is the best way to go, right?
Okay.
And now your co-hosting business though will actually treat your owned properties like your own arbitrage as clients, and the co-hosting operations will run everything, including your internal portfolio.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a cool structure. It's a cool structure for liability separation. Um,
Yeah.
that's a little in the weeds at the moment in time. We don't need to really work on that quite yet. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
pitch deck.
Okay.
Pitch deck for people thinking about getting into the space because you just got through peak, like, or you're in the middle of peak season and you're banging money right now, right? This is the
Yeah.
perfect time for an opportunity pitch deck. When January, February rolls around and after you pick up some new arbitrages, middle of February is going to be the perfect time to do your co-host is screwing you pitch deck because it's the middle of the
Mm.
suck, right? So that pitch deck is great in slow season when other co-hosts are failing. You say, "Hey, I know why you're failing. Here's what they did wrong." And you get that
Yeah.
co-host thrown under the bus at the peak of someone's despair, which is slow season. So right now is opportunity pitch deck for people who want to get in. 6 months from now, you'll do your pitches. 8 months from now, you'll be doing pitches about why their business is failing. You're going to pick up people in the like at the end of slow season. Two different decks, two
Okay.
different inputs. Two different journeys. One's
Okay.
pain.
Yep. Yep. That makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yep. That worked, Sean. I was able to open up that one.
Cool. Yeah. So that's what a general pitch deck could look like. Um,
Okay.
don't copy the colors or anything. Right? You have your own brand. But I just want you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
know here's the standard. Here's the standard of making a pitch deck. And
Yeah.
but that pitch deck has a different anatomy. Everything I just put in the chat, I'd like you to copy those, okay?
Okay.
Because your pitch deck will have chapters that you want to go through in the orders that I gave you in the chat. Then I would
Yeah.
like you to think of here's every objection somebody might have about doing short-term rentals. I want you to make another pitch deck that addresses all the objections. And I would like you to make it so that way the very first slide of that objection deck, it just says, but what if? And it's got every question, like an FAQ. And when you
Mm-hmm.
get done building it, you can throw that to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to make this PDF a clickable table of contents where if I click on one of these sentences, the PDF automatically goes to the correct page. so that way you can jump ahead to objections, right?
Mm.
Um,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
so it's you know, so an objection PDF will have a clickable navigation, and that would be the thing that I do for that. Um, this will keep you busy for a couple weeks, my man, because now you're going to have to get into the new world of persuasion and graphic design.
Oh
But
yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah.
right on time for this pitch deck if you want to expand in some co-hosting, and I do think this is the best way to expand before you get more arbitrage.
Yep. Okay. Yep. No, that makes sense. Heck yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Sean. Yeah, this will yeah, this gives me lots of projects.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you're like, I want more. I want more. Seize the day,
Yeah.
you know?
Give me
Good.
more.
Dude, I love it. You guys are crushing it. Remember when you guys were like starting and you were having a hard time finding a property and even figuring out if anything would actually even make any money?
Just little
And
babies. Yeah.
I remember you guys like because yeah we did what we did like a private call initially too, right? With Karina was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you guys' startup, and yeah, you were hustling, bro. You were hunting for months to try to pick up some property, and um, I just remember you were like, kind of like, I wonder if this is even going to happen. You went through that phase.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, we're both Karen and I we were just talking yesterday. It's like we've proven this works. Let's let's fucking do this.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's been great to have you in the program so far. I'm happy that you guys, made it happen. It's good to see your success.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, you're this whole program you got has really been the key to success because we paired your guys' expertise in systems with our drive to make it happen. So it worked
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Now we're gonna punch a hole in the ceiling and get to 20 doors here soon. So,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Thanks, Sean.
yes, sir. All right, guys, we might have a minute of time before the next token. The next token is at the half hour mark. It's Tatiana. If Tatiana's here, we can jump ahead, but I don't think she is. So let's see.
Sure.
Welcome back for round two.
Thank you. I have the measurements now, approximate,
Ooh, look,
but
you're
I don't
moving
have
quick.
the blueprint. Do you want me to share or send
Yeah,
you the
yeah, yeah. Send me what you can.
okay, I'm gonna
Look at
send
you. Lightning fast.
can edit anyone. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna send you my Canva. Yeah, I came here with my girlfriends and they are waiting for me. So I told them just go girls. I'm gonna go because we are in Miami right now.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. But at least I have the measurements. So I really wanna see what we can do here. Mm,
Okay, cool. Outdoor space, 24 wide. Deck
yeah,
space, 20 deep. Okay, yeah, that is a little small. Um,
yeah.
and that is the whole yard, right? For sure.
The deck space or the whole yard, I think it's minimum 8 feet, maximum that would be double, maximum 12 inches. So, sorry, 12 feet.
Okay, now how much easement between the home and the next property do you have on both sides?
It's pretty it's pretty close. I
Like
already
four
have the
feet?
picture of
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, to show you. I'm gonna put in the second slide just in a second. I already have that figured out. Okay, that's gonna be in the next slide. Yeah, it's there.
Okay, I think we're dropping to number two.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hold on, there's plenty of room between houses. What are you talking
No, no,
about?
no. It's pretty close, believe me. So that the trees are covering the other backyards. But
Yeah, but like I like to the left or the right of the house, you still have like 5 feet or more on each side of the house, right?
oh yeah, left and right, yes, but not o- on the in the back.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure that we weren't only dealing with only 24 wide, right? So
Yeah.
right now you have about 35 by 20, but you might be 40 by 25. You still might hit the 40 by 25 mark pretty easy. 35 by 20 is still workable, right?
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah,
I
I think
can put things outside my limits with the fence in the backyard. So can I put things to the left and to the right of the house?
well, Well, yeah, you just need to know you have that amount of workable space, right? I think you're gonna be fine. Yeah, obviously we'll actually need like more of the actual yard surveyed or whatever to actually really know better. Um, because yeah, like you've got some stuff in here, right? Like this. It's cool to have this, right? But we will want to kind of know better, like how much side space you have, because you still can use this extra space, right? And it just won't seem so cramped also, even if it's just unused pathway, right? Even if it's just unused pathway, like I still think it's valid, right? Because yeah, there's the house, right? And then you got the extra room to the right and to the left, and it goes back a certain amount. Yeah, I think you're gonna be
I'm
fine. I
putting
think I think you can do stuff with the backyard. Of course, now
I'm
we
putting some pictures on the other pages, so you kind of have more eyes.
okay. Yeah, you've got room. You absolutely have got room. Um, yeah, I think I remember seeing these deck shots. Yeah, and then there's oh, you got way more than 8 feet behind that.
Okay, let me see.
You got
Right.
way more than 8 feet beyond the deck. Like with this shot here, like
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I didn't see that.
like this shot here, like where you got all the way back to that fence line that's back there, right?
Fence line, yeah.
That fence way back there.
Oh
There's
yeah,
there's 8 feet between the fence and these chairs. There's definitely at least 8 feet between the fence and these
that's
flowers right
here,
here.
right? Yeah, you're
You
right.
got you
You're
got
right. I
tons of
have
space. You
that
got
one.
tons of space. You're probably looking at a 40 by 40,
Mm.
35 by 35. That's what you're looking at. You got room. Um, and yeah, I would definitely manicure this all. We could probably find a way to work the trees into the thing. Imagine, oh man, it would be so. I mean, I've got some really goofy ideas, and a lot of you guys would probably laugh at me, but
Ah,
I would probably try to like wrap the base of the tree up to like like up to 4 feet. I'd extend the deck all the way into the trees, right? Extend it all the way to trees, and I put an in-ground pool in and around the trees, and I'd actually like waterproof the trees, and so the like you could swim around the trees in the indoor in the pool. It would be the craziest thing. Um,
mm,
it'd be really weird. It'd be a tough lift. But I don't know if your property would be luxury enough to be able to get away with that expense. But there's all sorts of things you could do to incorporate the trees, right? If money was not an option, you probably could wrap the tree bases and then create your own custom above ground pool like lining that would go around the trees, and you create above ground pool that goes in between the trees and then build the deck around it. If money was not an option. Um, it could be a really fun look. But either way, I think working with the trees could be cool. You could do like you got so much tree that you could probably even do a tree house in the backyard for kids. A tree house could be cool.
Now my question is because my backyard, mm, how do you say this in English? My backyard faces other neighbors.
Mhm.
I just don't want to have the same problem at the releve that the neighbors are going to complain about
Yeah.
noise.
If you have a kids tree house, like a thing that's a tree house for kids, then you won't have the same problem with the backyard because like you're not going to have like adults going up and throwing an MTV Cribs party in the kids tree house.
Mhm.
So there's that. If you did the pool like I talked about, and you did like this very cool resort style private pool, you could have a problem with congregations. But creating a kids treehouse where you can create like a winding staircase that goes between the two trees on the right side, where you almost do like an infinity loop staircase that goes up. It could be really
You
kind of
know
cute.
what? We can do kind of glamping there, right?
Yeah,
Like a domo. So
yeah,
with all the trees, we can do like like a domo, like camping inside the city.
exactly right. You
Glamping,
could absolutely do like a glamping, like bubble dome, geodesic
bubble
dome.
dam.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could absolutely do. And yeah, because with the geodesic dome, you can actually build the geodesic dome around the trees because they're
Yeah,
the triangles, right? So you could space them correct. And so the dome is under the trees. That could be
yeah.
cool. And from inside the dome, you could have a ladder that goes up into a treehouse above the dome where the kids can go up into like a treehouse lookout. That could be cute. That could be really fun, actually. So I think that has some merit. So yeah, let's get a like I love this like little imaginative look for this. And yeah,
Mhm.
those types of amenities are not like, oh, let's party in the backyard and be
No, no,
stupid,
no.
right? They're family amenities that are really cool and like childlike adventure. So
Hmm. Yeah. And for that deck, so no, do you think I really like the idea of dome, a dome, how to hit glass dome?
yeah,
Dome.
like a glass dome.
Uh-huh. Like a
Okay.
dome. I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce.
Yeah, though it's a dome.
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 Yeah.
Just dome. Yeah.
Okay. So if we do the dome, we don't have to do that pool?
Exactly right. You would not have
I
to do the
really
pool
like
if you
that
didn't do it.
idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because the
Okay.
glamping side is one style of amenity. The pool hot tub is a different type of amenity.
Different. That
You could
makes
always
sense.
add a hot tub later, by the way. You could always pull the hot tub for winter. It's a good winter amenity. It's a good defensive amenity. But the dome slash treehouse is an offensive amenity,
Forever.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So offensive amenities are amenities that we go and we win bookings against other people. It's very aggressive. Like we're going to be the first person picked. There's amenities to be the first person picked. A
Yeah.
hot tub is like an amenity when you have to drop your prices in like low season. They're very good for protecting your ADR in contingencies. And a hot tub's good defensive amenity. But this bubble dome thing, this dome slash treehouse idea, glamping thing is could be something that could win you the bookings right away. So um, they can coexist.
Okay. Okay. And what should I do with the deck right now, as it is?
Um, the question is, do you change it, right? You could change the style of the deck. I don't know, actually. Hold on. You got plenty of room. I don't necessarily think that you need to do much. You have a lot of natural shade, don't you?
Natural shade.
Yeah, all the trees, you have natural shade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't even think you need shade structure. I think I would put like just good outdoor seating, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Um, like outdoor seating for six, and you've got the grill, right? You got the grill
Mhm.
outdoor seating for six, and maybe even like a one of those hanging egg chairs, like a basket chair that would go on the other side over here, maybe like just like a singular basket chair that you sit over there, kind of like a reading nook, kind of a cozy thing. But yeah, probably seating for six, like dining for six out here. Outdoor dining is probably what I think I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna look it up. Yep. And for the main cave, I also share the dimensions, measurements.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
And number one,
Number one.
size
Okay, look
number
at the
one,
top of it.
converted space,
Okay, it's
square by
12
16.
by 15. Yeah,
Yeah,
so 12 by 15.
13 by 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
A
have a lot of space, right? Because we have a double glass door that goes to the outdoor space. So putting a bunk bed there, I think it's gonna be a
yeah.
little bit crowded, very crowded actually.
Yeah, because of the flow.
Yeah,
You're right. We don't need an answer for this part yet.
got it.
We can yeah, it's not the biggest deal. You could just make it an extra bedroom, right?
Okay.
You could do two queen beds on the right side of the wall, or headboards to the right.
Okay.
Right. You could do that because you only need about 13 feet for two queen beds, and you got 15, so you got plenty of room. So you can make that room a double queen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah, I like that idea.
bed max.
And also, okay, so what's next then now? Should I look it up more for outdoor ideas with glamping?
Exactly. You're now in crazy imagination phase. Come up with every different silly idea for the backyard that's in this space, and come up with a bunch of AI generated photos, and just look at every possible direction. Just throw spaghetti at the wall, and like, what if the treehouse looked like this? What if we did a bubble dome? What if we did a bubble dome and a treehouse? What if we did this over here? And let ChatGPT or other AI generate you a bunch of different concepts and see which one you like the most. Um, we are now investigating the creative side.
Okay. Should I take into consideration to change the fence to a more private fence
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
12 feet?
You'll get there. You'll get
I
there
do
later.
have to, right?
Yeah. That's I think that's kind of an absolute yes. So
Okay, got it.
yeah,
Thank you so much, Sean. Yeah,
yeah. Good
thank
job
you.
working quick. Great
Thank
work.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Very cool. All right, let's see if Tatiana's in. Tatiana's our next token. All right, we have just a minute. Okay. All right. Welcome in for your hand. You're right on time. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you, Sean?
Good. Good to see you.
Good. We went up with Karis on Monday, I think. Last Monday,
Yes.
go
Yep.
over the big house as well. He either asked her about the project for their then probably pretty in process of inquiring right now, probably within 6 days. And I think Karis promised to contact you to discuss if we can do anything outside to design the house during the process of inquiring because it's a 10 bedroom or eight plus bedroom minimum. So
Say that last part one more time.
Heather was asking if we can work with Caris, and she's supposed to talk to you about this to design the house, the one we're in the
Yep.
process of buying.
Yep.
To and if it's possible to do within what the price will be, of course, pricing of labor materials within 60 days, if it's possible to do. The question will be from him.
I think if Karis has any confidence, that she can get
She liked
this
the
done.
property. She liked the property, and we show her all the pictures that we have. They showed the same with an idea of the rooftop as well. She liked the property.
Yep.
So but definitely it's between the guys to you, like if what will be the next step. And she gave me her personal email. I think she emailed her with
Cool. Yeah,
more.
just be hyper high touch with Karis. I'm gonna give her all the support she needs to make sure we get this
Okay.
done right. I'm confident that we can, right?
Okay.
She's very good. She's very good. I've never worked with anyone better. So
She helped me on the big house. She gave me an idea that maybe what we are missing, this 10% of the full house to be where it's supposed to be on the luxury level. I think I got her idea what she was saying. So we're going to be in process of that. So will be question for you, Sean, for current properties that we have. So we're going in slow season Miami. We finishing World Cup and we go into the very slow season, August, specifically September, I would say, September and beginning of October. So I don't have any bookings. So I have some bookings in August here and there popping up, but my September is dead. So I still have a mortgage to pay. So what I can do to
can you give me
attract.
do I already have your price labs information?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, can you give me your price labs login, email, and
I don't
password?
have it.
Yeah.
You remember I have only through my Hostaway logins through the co-host. I don't have my price lab direct.
We need to fix that. Because
Okay.
if I'm gonna help you guys get more bookings, we need to make some changes, right? We need to change your
Okay.
price
Okay.
labs.
Okay. So you want me to ask them to give me full access to my price lab account, at least to my properties price labs.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Because you need to be able to make some key changes if they're making some mistakes.
Okay. Okay. So the idea is like I have 5 properties. So I have the minimum amount that I need to have each month. I have break-even amount, and I have, of course, everything else on the top is a profit. So majority of the year, we already have 1 year of full rent out of the 5 properties. I hit maybe twice over. 2-3 months was break even. The rest was under. So I'm paying out of my different
Sure.
business, all my
Yeah.
mortgages.
So what we're gonna like to do is every single day on your calendar, we're gonna try to do the best we can with every individual day. And you're gonna notice that some days you will lose money, but you still
Mm-hmm.
collect money, right? We want to collect some, even if we lose. And then
Okay.
some days you're gonna make so much money, it's insane, right? Big spikes, big up and down spikes.
Okay.
So at the end of the month, right? Even on a bad month, at the end of the month, you might have like 5 days where you make some really good money on 5 days. And then we have to fight like hell to get another 20 days booked, right? But it's better to get 25 days booked, fighting like hell, even getting some little reservations. And you can
Okay.
still get very close to break even by fighting through slow season. We can do
Okay.
that. And then all
Okay.
those other months, what's happening with your pricing strategy with your co-host is probably that they're pricing for the good days. Hopefully they're getting really good money. Maybe sometimes they're not quite getting enough for those really, really good days, but they're not moving with the market enough to make sure that you get these other days booked at the right prices. It's a very common problem. It's a very common problem. So
Okay.
we're going to take over price is what we'd like to do. And I will coach you on pricing strategy. It's going to be very dedicated, to be
Okay.
very specific. Okay.
Okay.
But I'll need
Okay.
your price labs because I'm going to go in and I'm going to change your price labs the first time I can log in. I'm going to change them and I'm going to teach you why we do what we do. So I'm going to fix your problem, but I'm going to teach you what I'm doing so you'll learn from me as I fix it. That's how we
Okay.
do that.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I will work in during this week on specifically on the price labs. Another question I have is, you remember, we want to eventually to take over the co-host and completely take them away from us and be on our own. We will need to help with outsourcing, for example, for their answering the inquiries. So when we're not available, maybe not all the team is here, the team is my family. Outsourcing through the best way to hire this person who can through which websites to outsource these people who just can sit down and just do answering the questions, following up with the customer.
You're luxury property, right?
Yes,
I think you should hire a local Miami person.
local Miami person.
They
So what
will be
about
more
like night? Because I
expensive.
have inquiries at nighttime sometimes from nowhere. They come in the middle of the night and I see them only in the morning.
So the question is like, what do you mean by inquiries? Like they have booking questions?
Both. It's a booking questions and current customers, and sometimes customers who booked but they want to make a changes suddenly.
Okay.
So
Okay, well, so you don't need to have somebody available 24/7, right? But the reason why you would like to have a local Miami person is, let's say somebody's upset, right?
okay.
Somebody shows up and they're upset. And let's say they paid you $7,000 for a reservation, okay? You would love your local person that answers the phone
Mm-hmm.
to show up at this property and solve a problem if you ever needed to happen, right?
Okay.
I think your level of business, you want a concierge. You don't want just a VA.
Concierge.
You want a
Okay.
concierge,
Okay.
right?
Not somebody just outsourced. Okay.
Exactly. And then
Then
you can use Guesty or there's other channel managers that have this, but there's going to be AI features built into channel managers. Guesty is going to be very good because they got a lot of internal stuff. And at night, 24/7, these AIs can actually answer questions and stuff, right?
okay.
From like
Okay.
2 a.m.
So
until 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Yeah.
I will give you an example what of happened. Just basically the last one of the last guests who moved in for the townhome. She moved in very late. She checked in like at 12 a.m.
Yep.
The first thing she texted through the Airbnb messaging that I received, it was, "Hey guys, we have a smoking smell in the house. And I'm texting you only to tell you it's not us because we know that you have a policy."
Yeah.
So immediately they offered to come stop by to check to make sure everything. I say, "No, I don't want anyone to come. I don't want anyone to stop by to interrupt my privacy, but I just want to let you know that there is a
Yep.
smell when we checked in." So this is where we end up with customer is okay that we say, "Okay, we understand, we are sorry." But the question is, so how can we checked with their cleaning crew to make sure that we recorded for Airbnb purposes if there was some smoking?
So cleaning crews can have like a checklist where they check yes or no on some key things that are non-visible, right? This is it's so silly, but it's actually really just that. You're gonna have a clipboard that will have some things that they need to take a photo of, like, were any plates, cups, bowls damaged or missing, right? Was there smoke or smell or odors in the home? If yes, odors, please describe odor. And they just have a clipboard and they write the stuff down, and then they take a photo of it as part of their cleaning documentation. And we have a 5-step cleaning system. And so as you guys do your own code stuff, right? Do you probably we talked about it earlier, but there's something called Clean Team Dream Team in the Cracking Superhost program.
Yes, correct. Yes,
Um,
yes, right.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And so the first 2 steps of our housekeeping is wellness checks, right? And so with your housekeepers, you need to train them that they don't start cleaning yet. They need to go through the wellness side. And that clipboard of whether there's damages or odors or stuff, that's part of step 2. And you need them to adopt your systems. Um, and so what they need to do also in step 1 and step 2, they also are required to proactively communicate. And this is something housekeepers really don't do. They may document that there's a smell, but they don't tell you that there's a smell until the cleaning is over, and that's a problem, right? So we try to get our housekeepers to understand that you're not technically cleaning until step 3, and we need you to communicate. Everything is important. We need you to communicate before you start cleaning. That's why step 1 and 2
Okay, so
exist.
after the customer move out, to check the property, basically checklist for their condition after the customer moved out.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you can call it like a condition form. That's a really good way to say it,
But
right?
for example, if there is a smell, especially if the smell of weed, for example, and it's a violation of their policy when the rules of the house, how can we claim this with Airbnb to prove that there was a smell?
So you use this clipboard first, and if there's a smell, you're going to ask the housekeepers to hunt for contraband, right?
Okay.
They will go through the outside. They're going to look outside to see if anybody's thrown any cigarette butts or weed things outside.
Okay.
You're going to go through the trash, believe it or not. You check the kitchen trash for shake, for Swisher Sweets bags,
Yeah,
whatever. Right?
what you're saying, yeah.
So they are hunting for contraband. We do this all the time. Yeah, it's a little bit funky, but that's the best way for us so far. If you have a there are air sensors that can record if there was smoke. Um, you are luxury, so your properties make good money, so I think you should get one. I can't remember the name. I will get you the name of these. Um, uh, Indoor hotel airs.
Yeah, because we're not talking about smoke sensors when somebody like have a fire in the kitchen. We're talking about specific smell
Yeah.
that sometimes in some houses, especially because you have wallpaper, it stick to the wallpaper very easy.
Yeah.
So next customer will feel it right away when he moved in the same day. That's the issue that I have.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
happened
Wind.
exactly.
Okay, so Wind actually has upgraded their software, their stuff. So they do cigarette smoke detection, and I guess Minute does also. A lot of the noise monitors also have smoke sensors now.
Okay, and it's just like something that you can connect to Wi-Fi and to have an update every time, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I have a promo code for Wind. I don't feel like digging it up, but I don't know if you get a discount on it anyway. But it's commission be damned. Who cares? Um, so the Wind would be one, and so you can actually use the alert system as proof that someone smoked, right? And then the fact that the cleaner said there's a smell, and they document that there's a smell, you go back to the monitor and you find proof that they smoked. You can even use that. So you don't have to hunt for contraband if you have a device.
Okay, okay. It will be enough for Airbnb for I don't know how we should like how you can claim this like what violation it is with the customers to compensate that. The problem is it's not cleaning or get rid of the smell. It's next customer who moved in will complain,
Yeah.
and that's the
So
worst scenario.
yeah, Airbnb has loss of income coverage. So you actually will tell Airbnb that you need to clean the home and the walls from the smoke. So Airbnb has to cancel the next guest. You tell Airbnb that they have to cancel, right?
Okay.
Because the last guest caused the damages, as long as they're both Airbnb. So Airbnb guest is affecting another Airbnb guest, you can force Airbnb to relocate that next guest and cancel, but you still get the full payout. That's their loss of income coverage.
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
you have to
hey,
be
John,
very specific. You have to be very specific. They don't like doing it, but you can force
this
them.
is also the insurance company, the Proper, I think named the Proper.
Yep.
It's the one cover too as well in case Airbnb are lacking the
Oh, damage.
damage from or like a loss of income. What you call the company?
Proper insurance.
Proper insurance.
Yeah, proper is good, especially at your size. Now, there's one thing that I've heard that Airbnb doesn't like to pay stuff if you also have proper insurance. I've got to continue to investigate this. So as long as proper gives you loss of income coverage as well, then you're good, right? Um, because that the main thing that we're talking about here with Airbnb is loss of income. Um, so um, we like yeah, ask proper if they include loss of income coverage for issues. That would be the main consideration for this. But I guess either way, if you get proper insurance and they don't have loss of income coverage for damages, we would still try to lean on Airbnb really hard for it and see if we can get away with it. That's because yeah, you're worried about risk of a guest having a negative experience. The loss of income is what we do. And what's really great is you get the cancellation, you get the payout, you do the cleaning, you make sure that it's good. And once you know that it's good, you have the home listed again for like last minute booking, and you can actually double dip.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I
you
got
can get a new
Like
booking,
within
which is really
24
nice.
hours, you can clean it up and repost it again. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
John, what about if the customer? He's the customer that was coming or the guest on the house. He has intention to smoke, whether weed or cigarette, and he say, okay, just to let you guys that free him from the liability. Was it smoking?
Need monitor. That's what
Okay, need monitor.
Yeah,
What
that's
monitor?
He just said about the smoke monitor.
Okay.
Yeah, I put a link in the chat.
Okay, this is in
Good
you.
copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then beside this, also we talk about we
I'm
met.
talking about Harris. Yeah, explain.
We met with your designer. Okay, she's great. She's the one like the mainly design your property or
No,
what's
actually,
her
I do
name?
all my own because I'm a YouTuber, so I
Paris.
do all my own design. But Karis is way better than me. Gosh,
I'm
like
sorry, Sean. Maybe we put mute.
maybe you did mute. Maybe I
Hold
can hear
on.
you though. I can hear
Okay.
Oh, you
you.
can hear me. Okay. She's the one main designer. So we went with her about our houses. She gave us a feedback. And we went with her about the new project that's coming, the house with the 10 bedroom. Okay.
Mhm.
She's really interested. She want to get with you on that project. And she gave us
Cool.
some idea with it. She just about her email. How you want us to proceed with you and with her to make something
Yeah,
like something different.
I just texted her right now that you said that you talked to her. So I'll probably talk to her over the weekend, and let's just maybe have a call Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe we'll do a group call together.
Okay, but we look like we are about 1 week away from closing the deal with him.
Congrats.
Okay, and then gonna be 2 months. And then part of the amendment that he allow us to work on the house. Okay, after
After you close.
we close on the number. So those 2 months or the 60 days period or 50-day period, we have the key and we could do this. And
Love that.
he
Love that.
also, the builder, we put that he will help us on the customized paint. Okay, he had the labor, we have the material and the wallpaper. So he agree with this, and then if they need electrician, he will to cover under our cost, but he'll provide it.
Yeah, love
Uh,
that.
and
Love that.
so
Good work.
that will make it easy. So we want really to have is that possible to have a design and furniture less than 50 days? And
I'm pretty sure if it was a requirement to get it in for less than 50 days, the type of furniture that we will buy will reflect that, right?
okay,
If we have more time, like 12 weeks instead of 8 weeks for furniture, we might pick different furniture, right?
okay.
Depends.
So we could do it 60 days. How many weeks? 60 days will be. It's
8 weeks
10,
is 56 days.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
8 weeks. I think, I mean, even we close, but we still good with this one here. And then,
Yeah.
and in cost like this, how much you projecting? Like, I don't want accurate, but give and
Yeah.
take, how much with some luxury?
That's a Karis answer. That's
Okay.
absolutely Karis. She's the one who has all the numbers and stuff because she's the expert in this space. Um, I'm going to make sure that everything we do is short-term rental friendly to make sure it performs as a short-term rental, like the marketing side, the branding side. She knows everything about design. So we'll need to ask her, she'll probably have price projections based on like the different paths that you could take on design. So she probably can give you a few different numbers
Okay.
and what
But
those numbers will look like
but
what the
you
final
you
product.
you'll be involving with us, I mean, to direct what the best model, what the best stuff, is that
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. You'll get the best combination of marketing and design at the same time. 100%.
Okay, so then you want to set up with her and then email us, or you want to set up with how you or us talk to her?
Yeah, so let's you can probably just follow up with her about us scheduling a group meeting on Tuesday or Wednesday, see if she's available. I'm gonna talk to her too, but like if you just want to let her know like hey, you'd like to have a meeting. Um, hopefully we can get you some numbers by Tuesday, Wednesday. Hopefully. Um, let us find out. And yeah, so you can feel free to communicate with her as the main point of contact for the design side. I'll be communicating with her about your property as well.
Okay. The rooftop on the same house that you want might take about 6 months for the permit. Okay.
Okay.
So look like we want to close the deal before, but we do amendment, that from structural engineering and stuff like this.
Sure. Yeah, so we'll probably launch the property, make some money, schedule downtime in your slow season for the rooftop to get done, and then do a version 2.
Okay, and he has another one. So I asked him, did not build the guest house yet. So I asked him if he wants us to buy this one here, since the guest house is not built yet and need about
Mm.
6 months. Okay, we will sign contract with you, but with the rooftop from now. He
Yeah.
work on it again on instruction because they get the permit from Miami-Dade County. They want to
Yeah.
go back with different now design to get them approved with that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's really smart. That's cool. So this could be another property, same builder.
yeah,
Yeah.
same one, but this is down 6 months. I'm just projecting within 5 to 10 years these property to appreciate as they downtown expand.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
why.
I like your angle. I think this is really good. And now, if you can prove that this type of rooftop amenity is really solid for Miami, you can hit a few more. Like you've got opportunity here. I really like where this is going.
Okay, it sounds good. My daughter, Kay, which is the listing on her name, she has a few questions too.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead, Khadija. So you need to ask him about the hiring from Philippine or with this. You already talked to him? I'm sorry, I was late. Okay, they
Yeah,
have a
we talked about hiring a local concierge instead of a remote agent because you guys are luxury. We want somebody local that's capable of like showing up in person if somebody needed something, going on a grocery run and buying some stuff. You're gonna have so much advantage for a concierge that'll come later on. That like a VA just won't be able to do so many of the luxury things that really make you a powerful company. So we're gonna hire a local.
Okay, so hire local from Miami,
Yep.
especially the concierge. Okay, mm, yeah, do you have a company and how much will cost this? How to pay this person? What he getting paid in commission? Like for instance, the one in Philippines, I met one guy has uh, actually local here in Leesburg, Virginia. Met him, had 35 arbitrage. He had a Philippine company,
Mhm.
but he paid him 3% on the gross, which is, I think, a
Wow.
lot. He was
Yeah.
grossing
Wow.
215. He paid 9,000 a month. So that's a
Yeah,
lot.
that's no, you don't need to do that. For a local Miami concierge, you're gonna hire somebody probably a little bit younger, a little bit motivated. You probably pay them a salary, right? And so you start them as like a junior concierge is probably what you're gonna call them, like a junior concierge. You might pay them $700 a week to start.
Hmm.
Okay. But this person's going to be able to do a lot of little things that's really going to pull their weight. And depending on the value that they create for your company, you'll probably give them a raise very quickly afterwards because they might go do runs. They might go they go shopping for supplies that are needed. They might do very quick little bits of maintenance that the housekeeper skipped. That's nothing too crazy. Um, and then of course they'll work with guests. They can meet with guests to do grocery runs with them. They can book them events or book them massage therapists. They can do a lot of cool stuff that you can make money on. And so once you prove the value of the concierge, you can scale that.
And for to find him, we need to go like Facebook post is the best way to find them.
Um, hmm.
Because remember, we're not local. To find
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
There are some hiring in Miami Facebook groups. I think that is a good place to start. Um, where else? Who else? You could post a formal job ad. You could try that too, but Facebook groups and a formal job ad will be where you start. Um, you're Fort Lauderdale, Miami, or just like just Miami, Miami?
Miami. We are
no,
like
district design, Miami.
almost downtown Miami, 5 minutes from, we are in the Wynwood Design District and
Yeah.
downtown about 7 minutes. Prickle about 10 minutes from us.
Okay.
The South Beach, 15 minutes from us. Run
Okay.
about traffic.
Um, I'll think of where else I might try to hire somebody. Like I need to bake on this a bit, but Facebook groups and a regular job ad I think are going to be a start. I really believe in hiring what we would call passive applicants or passive candidates, which does require more like in this you have to be more local because you need to run into people who already have jobs and try to recruit them from their current jobs is what I normally would recommend. But since you are remote, Facebook groups are one of the most solid ways to find people
You
who are
want to
looking.
do Indeed too?
Um, yeah, yeah, you guys are going to make enough money that maybe trying an Indeed could be cool. Looking for somebody who can maybe give you a referral. Referrals are very strong. So you find somebody who's not going to take the job, but you like their character. You always ask those people for a referral. Referrals are going to be one of the strongest ways to get people.
Okay. It sounds good. My daughter asking about again, if she could build up a dependent website since when we are ready to launch on our own, we'll have all the direct booking. It was still that's what your question. Stick with Guesty? No, or she stick with Guesty premium website, and this is if one day we left Guesty, can we take our website with us from that
Yeah,
Guesty?
so Guesty's got a booking engine. What I'm going to recommend you do, I'm working on a direct booking website builder. And it can connect to other channels like Guesty. And so I recommend you have your own software like that, so that way when you leave Guesty, the front end is always the same, and then you just change the booking engine on the back of the website.
Okay, so you're working on this on the direct
Yeah.
website. We start with Guesty, but you're working on that later. We'll
Yep.
use this.
Yep.
And
It'll be much stronger. It's gonna be very marketing forward, where Guesty just gives you a booking site, not very special. What we're working on building is something that's like very impressive, right? Where people are like, wow, love this site. And you can change it. Like you can do multiple different versions of the site at the same time and test them. A lot of cool things.
okay, what she asking right now, tell him about the liability. She say no, it's a liability, direct booking and stuff like this. How you want to elaborate on that?
Well, if you have proper insurance, like you guys like asked about, that they'll cover your liability. Proper insurance will cover that. Um, and if you charge $1,000 a night or $2,000 a night or more, proper insurance, even if you pay $500 a month for your insurance, right? On a reservation that is $2,000 a night for 3 nights, that's $6,000. Airbnb's service fee for one reservation over the weekend is more than $500, right? So to get a direct booking and not pay Airbnb their service fee, one weekend direct will pay for your insurance.
So the co-hosting we have that was hosting with us, they go behind Airbnb that they have one of his photo. Is that right, Tatiana? If you need a discount, scan this barcode. So
No, that'll get you banned. Airbnb is going to catch that. That's very,
okay, so is that right,
very.
Tatiana? That's what he doing, Josh?
Doing what?
The barcode.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the last pictures in the listings will have a little barcode, QR code.
Yeah.
And if you scan it, it's gonna take you to phone number. And you say like, oh, just call the pictures and use the QR code for discount. So
No,
it's not
it's it is
violating Airbnb rules.
it is a massive violation of Airbnb's policies. And the moment that Airbnb decides to like turn on an AI to search for QR codes in the photos, those listings are insta-banned. It's very
Okay.
risky. Very
Okay.
risky.
So he doing doing not good shady thing about. So get caught. Not us. That's what we realize from the code. And I think that's why we realize sometimes they steal the booking from that site, from here, from one house to another house.
Say that part one more time.
I think sometimes that's what we find out, that he's still booking too from they calling in your property. If they have the call some multiple property, they will land them on different property. You know what I mean? With 10% discount too as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Aditya, what do you have a question for Sean? Okay, go ahead.
My question is that for the insurance, is the insurance covering like damages, like Airbnb will reimburse you for stuff like that?
Mhm.
Or is it more like direct property, like the wall is broken?
Everything, right? So the insurance policy will cover damage to furniture, damage to property, extra cleaning because of smoke or like pets or anything. Those all get covered. Um, the one thing that we did mention that I think is important is loss of income. If you have to cancel a reservation due to damages and lose bookings, that downtime, we want to get that insured. That's an important part to make sure you include in your insurance, but a lot of insurances have those options. Um, yeah, so the insurance can be pretty comprehensive. It'll cover a whole bunch of things. And of course, we just want to review the policies and ask the person selling us the insurance that these specific things are covered. But all of that, the stuff that you're concerned about is standard. Yeah.
Okay. And how long usually the claims like take to get reimbursed?
Probably a couple weeks. Some insurance policies try to claim that they're very fast, but then like they can be expensive. And so
Okay.
you guys aren't cash broke, right? So I wouldn't be worried about the fastest claim process. I'd be looking
No.
for the most fair and most comprehensive coverage.
So we could repair it ourselves and wait for the refund. Is that right?
Yeah. And so what I like to do is I like to have a second company that I own that is like a maintenance company or a repair company. So the repair company is doing the fixes, and then the repair company I send myself a bill from a different company.
Okay, so you could be proper. Sean, I don't know if Tatiana load the photo in this here. I think I remember I showed you the photo that I did in AI. One of them like missing the table, but Tatiana still. I remember you say it's okay not to be too much AI, but still you think it might violate, Airbnb if we did the.
No, no, AI photos are totally fine. They're fine.
Okay, so okay, if someone complain about that for any reason, we say like it's an AI, something like this.
So your AI photos should be pretty representative of the place. They should be pretty accurate, right? You're not making up fake spaces, right? When
Okay, same space.
An AI photo might have like a different aura or a different energy a little bit, but everything in the room is correct.
Okay, I would say like for example, that if I say it accurate, 80% or 90% accurate.
We want to make sure that the furniture is correct, right? So if there's a couch, if there's a table, if there's a king bed, if there's like we want all the big pieces all to be completely
Like for
100%.
example, if this is missing the coffee table, you know, we rather put the coffee table. We're gonna order it. The coffee table. They have a small coffee table. That's a big table, which is we find at $4,000. Okay. It's gonna take a while to be shipped up there,
Okay. Yeah.
Can we advertise with a coffee table? That's major.
Okay, so if you have book like if you have last minute availability where people will book today and next week, you still want to be accurate there. But the
Okay.
moment that all the like if tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks from now is all booked, the moment that that's all booked and you're trying to sell future inventory where the coffee table will be different then, you can then change the photo. What I would try to do is I try to get the next 2 months as booked as possible if it would take 8 weeks, right? The next month booked if it's going to take a month to get the coffee table. If you can book the near future, then you can change the photo and not worry about the consequences. But if you advertise something amazing and then you get a booking for tomorrow that was expecting the amazing stuff, you could
Actually,
get an
that's a
upside
good
gap.
point.
You
No,
could.
but he said maybe let's say in November, October, September, and all this stuff. You could put these, you know,
Yeah.
talk.
So, basically you can AI staging,
Yes, you
correct?
can. Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
And ambiance, lighting, all of that.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I use AI to make sure that my lighting is more balanced and a little bit more professional than is actually realistic, and that's okay, right?
Okay. And would
Um,
you recommend Adobe AI, Photoshop?
uh, actually, I use both Google's photo like thing and ChatGPT. I just use them both.
Okay.
I don't know if Adobe has its own proprietary AI or if they work through like
It's
a
a photo
video.
editing software that they've like embedded AI
Photoshop.
into.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm familiar, but they might actually use like a chat or Claude or a Gemini. They might use another AI
Ah,
model inside their thing. That's kind of what I mean. So what I would do is I would just take your image and I would assign the thing that you're trying to get done to ChatGPT or Claude and that or Gemini directly, possibly. Um, that's what I do. But if you're trying to get a very specific outcome, you could assemble the photo in like Adobe and say, okay, here's all the stuff I'm staging. Now generate this as if it was real. And Adobe might do a good job with that.
okay.
Um, but yeah,
But
I think this will be splitting hairs on best practices. I get very good results right out of the ChatGPT chat.
okay.
Um, yeah.
And about lighting, like ChatGPT tends to bring lighting out of nowhere. Should we ensure it's coming from the light
Sources.
sources?
What you can do is you can let it generate an image, and if you think that you don't like it, you say, okay, here's the image you just generated. This is mostly good, but here's what I don't like. Try again, right?
Okay.
And you can correct it. So you never have to accept the first photo, you know?
No, no, I'm aware. I'm talking more like it's like lighting from the corner. It looks really good, very ambient, but it's not, there's no actual lighting when you get there from the corner of the wall, you know?
Well, professional photographers will bring in light boxes and flash photography and put artificial light, forced light into the home, and it happens all the time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I think we are good, Tatiana.
Yeah.
We have everything covered for that. We'll contact her, and then if it's also possible, so we could move on a new project with you. And looks like she's really talented. We have a really good vibe from her.
Yeah, she's so very talented. I think you're gonna be happy with this. This is gonna be a fun adventure. So, congrats on the purchase, by the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Thanks a lot, Sean.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you probably on Wednesday with her.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll talk this week.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, no
Appreciate it.
problem. All right, guys. Looks like the roster inside here, we all have all the same people, and you guys, there was no hands before this, so I think we're probably done. So we're just gonna call it. But remember, midweek, hit me up in the Cracking Supers Facebook group anytime. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next Saturday as per usual. Burning Man is coming up, so there will be a couple weeks where coaching might be a little like hard to schedule at the very end of August, but I will keep you guys posted on what that's going to look like a month from now. But yeah, aside from that, guys, good to see you all. You guys are doing so good. I'm loving to see your progress.
Thank you.
So, with that said, guys, have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.